Your Excellency, Mr. Smith Agustin, President Consular of the Republic of Haiti. Mr. Patrick Pellissier, Minister of Public Security and Justice of Haiti. Mr. Jean-Michel Moïse, Minister of Defense of Haiti. His Excellency Luis Almagro, Secretary General of the Organization of American States. Mrs. Barbara Feinstein, Deputy Assistant Secretary, Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs, U.S. Department of State. Distinguished permanent representatives and alternate representative of the OAS, member states. Distinguished permanent observers to the OAS. Distinguished panelists and invited guests. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Symposium, Finding Urgent Solution for the Haiti Security Crisis, organized by the Permanent Mission of Haiti to the Organization of American States and the Secretariat for Multidimensional Security of the OAS General Secretariat. It is an honor to invite His Excellency, Mr. Smith Agustin, President Consular of Haiti, to deliver his opening remarks.
Monsieur le secrétaire général, Monsieur le secrétaire général adjoint, Monsieur le président du conseil permanent, Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs les représentants permanents et observateurs permanents, distingués invités, Mesdames, Messieurs, au nom du conseil présidentiel de transition, permettez-moi de renouveler la gratitude du peuple haïtien au secrétaire général sortant, Son Excellence Monsieur Luis Almagro, pour son soutien continu à Haïti durant ces 2 mandats et féliciter le secrétaire général élu, son Excellence M. Albert Hamding, ainsi que la secrétaire générale adjointe, la première femme élue à ce poste, Mme Laola Hill. Je tiens à rassurer aux 2 illustres élus de la bonne collaboration de la République d'Haïti tout au long de leur mandat, qui sera marqué, j'en suis certain, du renforcement des liens de l'OEA avec Haïti. J'adresse aussi mes vifs remerciements au secrétaire général Almagro pour avoir répondu favorablement à la demande haïtienne d'organiser ce symposium sur la situation sécuritaire et judiciaire en Haïti. Lors de notre récente rencontre en avril dernier, on s'était entendu que pour bien résoudre la crise, il faudra d'abord commencer par mieux la comprendre et faire évoluer le narratif qui l'accompagne, tant au niveau national qu'international. Mais tout d'abord, je veux bien saluer le travail remarquable du secrétariat à la sécurité multidimensionnelle, ainsi que le dévouement de son personnel, dont l'engagement exemplaire a grandement contribué à l'organisation du symposium. Je remercie aussi l'ensemble des États membres et observateurs de l'organisation pour l'attention constante qu'ils portent à la situation sociopolitique en Haïti. Ma gratitude s'adresse également à l'ensemble des organisateurs et aux intervenants. Depuis la création de l'OEA, il a toujours été permis à Haïti de compter sur la solidarité interaméricaine dans cette démarche de consolidation de l'état de droit, de promotion de la paix et de protection de la démocratie. La tenue aujourd'hui de ce symposium témoigne de cette vieille amitié courageuse et solidaire. Mesdames, Messieurs, au-delà de l'élégance évidente de cet acte protocolaire, nous sommes réunis ici afin de mobiliser notre attention sur une situation d'extrême urgence, l'urgence de répondre en effet à une crise sécuritaire qui a franchi en Haïti les seuils de l'inacceptable. L'urgence de venir en aide à une partie de l'humanité qui est en péril en Haïti. L'urgence de ne pas détourner notre regard de la détresse alors que des vies sont brisées quelque part tous les jours par la violence meurtrière des gangs. Plus de millions de personnes sont contraintes de quitter leur quartier, tandis que l'autorité de l'État est menacée et la démocratie est en péril. Au moment où je m'adresse à cette auguste assemblée, les gangs armés contrôlent près de 80% du territoire de la zone métropolitaine de Port-au-Prince, une bonne partie du département de l'Artibonite et quelques communes de celui du centre. Il est urgent de soutenir Haïti dans son combat souverain de récupérer les territoires qui sont sous le contrôle des bandes criminelles. Ces bandits détruisent des vies et des biens, tuent l'espoir et transforment en cauchemar les rêves de la jeunesse de grandir ou ceux des vieux de jouir du repos de leur âge. Mesdames, Messieurs, la limite a donc déjà été franchie. Il faut agir vite, il faut agir bien. Sous l'impulsion du Conseil présidentiel de transition, l'État haïtien a renforcé sa politique de sécurité. Il s'est doté d'une feuille de route claire, soutenue par une augmentation substantielle du budget alloué aux institutions d'ordre et de sécurité publique. Les fonds rendus disponibles aident à la formation du personnel sécuritaire, l'augmentation des infrastructures y relatives, ainsi que la modernisation des équipements. Les résultats devront être plus évidents dans les jours à venir. Le gouvernement actuel refuse catégoriquement d'être de connivence avec des bandits. Toutefois, la confiance totale du peuple ne sera rétablie dans ses élites dirigeantes si nous n'instaurons pas dans le pays une société résolument égalitaire et non violente. Le système national d'oppression populaire qui fut érigé dans le pays depuis la formation de l'État a fini par créer des monstres qui sont si détruits intérieurement qu'ils peuvent être en mesure, aujourd'hui, de brûler vif un bébé innocent, violer des fillettes sans défense, incendier des hôpitaux, des écoles et des bibliothèques ou transformer en assassins sous l'effet de la drogue des enfants innocents mais désespérés. Mesdames, Messieurs, croyez-moi que pour ainsi traiter les gens comme le font les gangs en Haïti, l'instinct criminel individuel ne suffit pas. Il a fallu que les élites traditionnelles passent leur temps à créer, au détriment de la majorité, une société désintégrée ou un pays qui soit pour la majorité une terre de toutes les négations existentielles. En conséquence, devons-nous bien admettre que le pays ne se relèvera pas sans la conception puis la mise en œuvre d'une politique radicale de sécurité globale qui ne cherche pas seulement à faire la guerre aux bandits, mais aussi et surtout à restaurer le droit du peuple haïtien à l'égalité citoyenne et à l'autodétermination politique. Il est crucial de redonner à la majorité populaire sa dignité, sa citoyenneté et à tous le droit inaliénable de vivre heureux dans leur propre pays. Le devoir des élites dirigeantes haïtiennes, c'est d'abord d'être responsables à l'égard des besoins de la population. En d'autres termes, nous ne pourrons pas résoudre définitivement le problème de l'insécurité sans un projet courageux de rupture avec la société traditionnelle haïtienne fondée sur des éléments discriminatoires et d'exploitation de la vieille société coloniale et l'instauration nécessaire par des élites enfin soucieuses et compatissantes envers le peuple de notre État qui soit enfin pour et non contre la nation. De même, il va falloir considérer avec sérieux la dimension transnationale de la crise. On ne le dira jamais assez. Haïti ne produit ni armes ni munitions. Et pourtant, des centaines de milliers d'armes à feu circulent librement sur notre sol, alimentant la criminalité, la corruption et sapant toute tentative de restauration de l'ordre public. Par ailleurs, nous parlons le plus souvent de la menace que représente pour notre région les problèmes de sécurité en Haïti, plutôt que de considérer la façon dont les problèmes non résolus dans d'autres pays de la région affectent Haïti et permettent à ces problèmes d'insécurité de s'aggraver. En effet, Haïti n'est nullement le lieu où résident les principales forces de soutien et d'origine des principaux problèmes qui sont liés à la criminalité transnationale organisée, tels que le trafic illicite d'armes, de munitions, de drogue et d'êtres humains. En évoquant ici la dimension transnationale de la crise sécuritaire en Haïti, nous voulons aussi contribuer à déconstruire le préjugé qui veut faire d'Haïti un problème pour la région. Aucun pays n'est un problème pour un autre pays ou pour une région. Autrement dit, 2 grandes leçons sont à retenir du fonctionnement de la criminalité transnationale organisée. La première, les pays les plus faibles sont ceux qui en souffrent le plus. Il suffit d'étudier les conséquences dévastatrices de tous les types de trafic illicite dans les pays des Caraïbes pour s'en rendre compte. La deuxième leçon est l'exigence de la coopération, voire de la solidarité internationale dans le domaine de la lutte contre ce fléau. Car plus il y a de pays touchés par ces structures criminelles, plus le problème devient grave et plus il devient difficile de le résoudre par les moyens d'un seul pays. Somme toute, mesdames, messieurs, devons-nous sincériser nos engagements de solidarité les uns envers les autres, notamment vers les pays souffrant de notre région, dont Haïti, en respectant nos promesses et en ayant conscience qu'en contribuant à construire la paix sur notre continent, nous travaillons aussi en même temps à préserver la paix chez nous. En Haïti, le Conseil présidentiel de transition poursuivra ses efforts visant à rétablir la sécurité, restaurer la légitimité institutionnelle, relancer l'économie nationale et mener Haïti vers des élections libres et crédibles. Cette mission, bien que difficile, reste réalisable. Nous comptons beaucoup sur la solidarité régionale et internationale pour y arriver, car il y a un devoir interaméricain d'accompagner et de soutenir Haïti. Enfin, je forme tous mes vœux de succès à ce symposium, qu'il nous serve à nous rapprocher davantage dans la recherche de la paix par la solidarité fraternelle. Soyons encore de ceux qui croient que les peuples savent tisser des liens perpétuels d'amitié. C'est là tout le rêve que nous chérissons tous depuis les vieilles luttes de libération des peuples opprimés de l'Amérique et plus près de nous depuis la création de l'organisation en 1948. Les échanges d'aujourd'hui devront se poursuivre avec le secrétaire général élu, Ramding, lors des prochaines rencontres, notamment à la 55e session de l'Assemblée générale de l'OEA qui se tiendra en juin prochain. Ce sont des initiatives qui doivent aboutir, j'en suis certain, à des engagements durables, concrets et transformateurs. Bon travail à toutes et à tous. Merci en pile, je vous remercie.
Thank you, Excellency. It is my honor now to invite His Excellency Luis Almagro, Secretary General of the Organization of American States, to deliver his opening remarks.
Thank you. It is an honor to welcome you to the Hall of the Americas for this important symposium, which brings us together with a shared purpose to find concrete, coordinated solutions to the security crisis that continue to severely affect the people of Haiti. I would like to extend special welcome to the Haitian authorities joining us today, in particular His Excellency Smith Augustin, President of the Transitional Presidential Council, Mr. Patrick Pellissier, Minister of Public Security and Justice of Haiti, and Mr. Jean-Michel Moïse, Minister of Defense of Haiti, and thank them for their presence and their commitment to restoring institutional governance in Haiti. The Organization of American States has stood and will continue to stand by the Haitian people since independence. Haiti has held a unique place in the history and identity of this hemisphere. And since the foundation of the OAS, we have recognized this role and walked alongside Haiti in its democratic and institutional journey. Today, however, we face a challenge that surpasses the usual difficulties: the expansion of gang violence, the breakdown of public institutions in critical areas, the non-renewal of the democratic institutions, the worsening of humanitarian emergency, the limitation of judicial authority, and the massive displacement of citizens together. This forms an unprecedented multidimensional crisis. This is not just a matter of security, it is a challenge that strikes at the very core of the region and very core of the democratic life in Haiti. The OAS has not stood still. I would like to take this opportunity to give a very heartfelt recognition to my special representative in Haiti and all his team in Port-au-Prince, more than 30 individuals from 11 different countries that are implementing concrete actions for the benefit of Haiti. Their commitment in rehabilitating 30 police stations, providing more than 5,000 items to the Haitian National Police, not lethal protective equipment, the continuing training of the community police, the setting up of specialized tactical unit training center in the north of the country, and strengthening Haiti anti-narcotics and financial investigation capacities of the judicial police are to be commended and praised. We will work always with the national authorities via our national office and through the Secretariat for Multidimensional Security on new initiatives supporting the mission and establishing a forward operating basis on the digitalization of the judicial police to help prosecute criminals and continue training the special forces and concrete actions that the OAS will carry on the months and years ahead. Definitely the structure of there is a need for a new structure of the mission. There is a need for a new functioning of the mission. The way that the mission has been structured definitely shows that the complete understanding of the problem has not been there, and the solution, it's not enough for the solution that the country needs. The OAS is also advancing towards the adoption of new mechanisms to protect and integrated strategy that supports national institutions, aligns with the mandates of the international community, and offers a coordinated response to the deepening crisis. This program, which will be later presented in the panel, reflects our commitment to stability, sovereignty, and long-term resilience in Haiti. We fully recognize that no solution will be sustainable without clear Haitian leadership, legitimate and democratic institution, and consistent international engagement. But we have to understand that this is a regional problem facing criminal gangs, organized crime, drug trafficking, arms trafficking. Those are regional problems that affect especially Haiti because of its institutional conditions. But it's the work of everybody, and we need the support of everybody in the region in order to get out of this hook of insecurity in the country. We fully recognize that no solution will be sustainable without clear Haitian leadership. So this is very, very important for the future of the mission. We must be clear, the challenges facing Haiti will not be resolved through symbolic gestures. They demand effective cooperation. They demand new additional financial resources, new additional human resources, new additional material resources. They need a strategic investment and a shared vision rooted in democratic values and human rights. The OAS is ready to continue playing its role. And we need everybody here in this room to be effective in our role. Definitely to show everybody here in this room that Haiti is not alone, that we will be there with Haitian people that need where they need us to be. That has been and remains our conviction. I wish you a productive and impactful discussion, but I wish you that we can open ways to action, for real action from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary General Almagro. We will now proceed to the panel discussion. The distinguished panelists are invited to the head table.
Your Excellency, Mr. Smith Augustin, President Council of the Republic of Haiti, Mr. Patrick Pellissier, Minister of Public Security and Justice of Haiti, Mr. Jean-Michel Moïse, Minister of Defense of Haiti, Mrs. Barbara Feinstein, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Caribbean Affairs and Haiti of the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs, distinguished permanent representatives and alternate representatives of the OAS member states, distinguished permanent observers of the OAS, distinguished panelists, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the panel on transnational organized crime and its impact on security and justice in Haiti. I am Michael Bejos, Senior Officer at the Department Against Transnational Organized Crime of the OAS, and I have the honor of being the moderator of today's panel discussion. This panel discussion is scheduled to conclude at 11:30 a.m. and seeks to foster dialogue between Haitian authorities, international actors, and the OAS on the challenges posed by transnational organized crime. It aims to examine the current security and justice challenges, assess their impacts, identify strategies for response, and explore mechanisms to address the ongoing security situation in the country. To this end, each of our distinguished panelists will deliver a brief presentation, up to 10 minutes, on their respective areas of expertise to help us better understand the security situation in Haiti. After the panelists have presented, and if time permits, we will have a round of questions, and I will ask questions of each panelist in sequence. If there is time, we will ask a second round of questions. So without further ado, let us proceed to the presentations by our distinguished panelists. It is my privilege to introduce our first panelist who will lead today's discussion, Mr. Patrick Pellissier, Minister of Public Security and Justice of Haiti. Minister Pellissier holds a law degree from the State University of Haiti, as well as a master's degree in international relations and European human rights law from the University of Nantes in France. He further specialized in economic, social, and cultural rights at the Henri Dunant University College in Geneva, and trained as a magistrate at the Bordeaux School of Magistracy. His academic career also includes doctoral research on human rights at the University of Toulouse. Minister Pellissier has served as a judge at the Peace Court in Maragua in southwestern Haiti, and as a human rights trainer at the School of Magistracy. He also teaches at the Bar of Port-au-Prince and works as a legal consultant and advisor. Minister Pellissier, you have the floor.
Merci, Monsieur le modérateur. Bonjour à chaque représentant et à chaque représentante des États membres de l'OEA, Monsieur le conseiller présidentiel, chers collègues. Aujourd'hui, c'est pour moi un privilège de vous faire une présentation globale et assez succincte de la situation sécuritaire en Haïti et de son impact sur le fonctionnement des institutions judiciaires et de l'état de droit en général. Je voudrais commencer par 2004, où il y avait une crise qui avait plongé le pays dans une situation d'instabilité généralisée. Dès lors, le Conseil de sécurité des Nations Unies, agissant dans le cadre du chapitre 7, avait envoyé une mission de maintien de la paix en Haïti qui a duré 14 ans. Cette mission est partie en 2017. Pendant le temps de cette mission, Haïti avait seulement 2 zones de non-droit, communément appelées zones rouges. 3 ans après, soit en 2020, Haïti fait face à la plus grave situation sécuritaire de son histoire. Plus de 60 gangs armés ont été créés et parmi ces gangs, il y a plusieurs coalitions. En 2024, les gangs ont constitué une seule et grande fédération appelée Vivre ensemble. Et chaque jour, ils occupent plus de territoires et multiplient leur mode opérationnel. Ils fonctionnent, ils sont présents notamment dans le département du Centre, dans le département de l'Artibonite, dans le département de l'Ouest, où ils occupent plus de 80% du territoire de la zone métropolitaine. Les gangs sont devenus autonomes. Ils avaient été créés, dans un premier temps, financés et en fonction des activités qu'ils mènent, ils sont devenus autonomes et entretiennent des relations avec d'autres réseaux criminels à l'extérieur du pays. Leur mode opérationnel, c'est le trafic d'armes, le trafic de stupéfiants, le trafic des organes, mais parallèlement, ils kidnappent, ils assassinent, ils violent, ils incendient, ils rançonnent régulièrement. Les statistiques de la criminalité en Haïti depuis le 1er janvier 2025 témoignent 947 personnes tuées parmi la population, ce qui est digne d'un bilan de guerre. Il y a 231 personnes blessées, 18 policiers ont été tués et 8 membres des forces armées d'Haïti. On s'approche vers 1 million de déplacés internes et 75% des infrastructures policières et judiciaires, c'est-à-dire 50 commissariats, sous-commissariats, antennes de police, ont été soit détruits, soit passés dans des territoires qui sont contrôlés par des bandits. Toutes les prisons de la zone métropolitaine ont été également détruites par les gangs armés. La conséquence sur le fonctionnement de la justice, c'est que depuis 2018, il n'y a pas eu d'assises criminelles, notamment dans le département de l'Ouest, parce que le tribunal de première instance de Port-au-Prince est tombé dans un territoire occupé par les gangs. Et consécutivement, ça aggrave la détention prolongée, qui a toujours été une des problématiques centrales de la justice haïtienne. Aujourd'hui, nous avons près de 8000 personnes en détention, et le fait que plusieurs prisons et centres de détention ont été détruits, ces 8000 personnes se retrouvent sur un espace de 32 cm² par personne. Le Sermicole, qui est un centre de rééducation des enfants, est devenu une sorte de complexe où l'on retrouve toutes sortes de prisonniers. La prison des femmes ayant été détruite, les femmes sont transférées au Sermicole. Le pénitencier national ayant été détruit, les accusés, hommes, sont également détenus au Sermicole. Et par conséquent, il n'y a plus de possibilité d'organiser des activités de rééducation pour les enfants, ils sont automatiquement devenus des prisonniers. Il y a une situation humanitaire inquiétante avec le VIH-Sida. On a pu identifier environ 2000 personnes dans les centres de détention atteintes du VIH-Sida et environ 500 parmi ces personnes sont en suspension de traitement. À cause des routes qui sont bloquées, les denrées sèches, les nourritures ne peuvent pas arriver à temps dans les prisons parce que les axes routiers sont contrôlés par les bandits. Mais parallèlement, le gouvernement est en train de faire des efforts. Un décret vient d'être adopté portant création de 2 pôles judiciaires spécialisés, dont un pôle qui sera compétent pour juger les crimes de masse, c'est-à-dire les violations graves et parfois systématiques des droits de l'homme, ainsi que les auteurs des violences sexuelles associées à ces crimes. Le second pôle est compétent pour juger les auteurs des crimes financiers. Le gouvernement, en Conseil des ministres, a également adopté un décret portant création de l'Agence nationale de sécurité, qui est une agence d'intelligence. Le nouveau texte constitutionnel est prêt pour le référendum constitutionnel qui doit nécessairement se tenir cette année, c'est-à-dire que nous travaillons pour organiser des élections. À titre de rappel, les dernières élections ont été organisées en Haïti en 2015. Il est important que des autorités élues soient installées à l'horizon de l'année prochaine, c'est-à-dire en 2026. Aujourd'hui, Haïti a besoin du soutien de ses amis, notamment ses amis de la région. Il est important que d'autres moyens soient mobilisés pour résoudre cette crise sécuritaire. Merci.
Thank you, Minister, for that very informative presentation. I am now pleased to offer the floor to our second panelist, Mr. Jean-Michel Moïse, Minister of Defense of Haiti. Minister Moïse is a former deputy in Haiti's 50th legislature representing the Bombardopolis-Baydéen constituency in the Northwest Department. During his time as deputy, he served as spokesperson for the Parliamentary Alliance for Haiti, the majority bloc in the Chamber of Deputies. Following his tenure in Parliament from 2016 to 2020, Mr. Moïse became a founding member of the Résistance Démocratique platform. He is also the owner of Moïse Service de Forage, a company specializing in drilling artesian wells. Minister Moïse, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much. Excellency Smith Augustin, conseiller président de la République d'Haïti, Monsieur le secrétaire général de l'OEA, Loris Almagro, Monsieur le ministre de la Justice et de la Sécurité publique d'Haïti, Patrick Pellissier, Excellence, Madame l'ambassadrice de la mission permanente d'Haïti à l'OEA, Myrta Desulmé, Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs, les ambassadeurs des États membres et observateurs de l'OEA, Mesdames et Messieurs. Thank you very much for hosting this significant event and welcoming us to this important and historic place. We are here to speak frankly and directly about a matter of urgent and grave concern to all of us. The acute security crisis in Haiti, our country, that has lasted too long. It is with a deep sense of sadness, urgency, and gravity that I'm speaking before you today to outline the alarming security situation currently prevailing in Haiti, a sad reality that no one in the international community should ignore. For several years now, Haiti has been facing an unprecedented threat, a threat that goes beyond the simple framework of organized crimes. It is an existential threat to all Haitians and to all of those who live in Haiti, carried out by heavily armed, well-organized, well-financed criminal gangs supported by local and foreign actors. We seek to undermine the authority of the state, fragment our territory, and spread terror among our fellow citizens. Indeed, armed gangs control vast territories in the country, creating a climate of terror within our communities, paralyzing our public and private institutions, engaging in violent kidnappings, rape, extrajudicial killings, and other grave criminal acts. We systematically endanger the lives of our fellow citizens and along with the political and economic stability of the country. This security situation is not solely the result of local dynamics. It is fueled by international networks of armed, ammunition, and drug traffickers who infiltrate our territory, particularly through land border with the Dominican Republic and through our vulnerable southern coastlines. Malicious individuals from outside the country, as inside of the country as well, are taking advantage of the chaotic situation and using Haitian gangs as the arm wing to control territories, to terrorize the population, and move the illicit goods. The involvement of transnational actors has made the crisis not only a matter of internal security and national sovereignty issue, but also a matter of regional and international security threat to all. In other words, this crisis is not just a Haitian one. Haiti's instability threatens the entire region because arms and drug trafficking know no borders. Like the firearms, the drugs are not originated from Haiti, nor are they consumed by Haitians locally. They just transit through Haiti. One of the consequences of the security crisis is a migration one that affects the Caribbean, South America, and of course, North America. To sum up, Haiti is on the brink of being fully controlled by criminal gangs, and we cannot allow that to happen. We desperately need the help of the international community to restore public order, safety, and to promote stable political environment immediately, because that has gone for so long and too long. It is well established that the weapons used by Haitian gangs come from abroad. We don't produce weapons in Haiti, more specifically from the following countries: the United States. Semi-automatic and automatic weapons are smuggled into the country through containers and through the Dominican Republic. With the Dominican Republic, we have a porous border. Corruption and smuggling facilitate the illegal entry of weapons and ammunition to kill our people. Colombia, by their own admission and by the admission of the Colombian government, Colombia is the major source of cocaine transiting through Haiti. Drug trafficking finances gang activities, human trafficking. Criminal networks use Haiti as a transit point or recruitment ground for vulnerable victims, for human and organ trafficking. This criminal economy fuels a local war machine with direct regional implications and consequences. The Haitian armed forces, despite their embryonic state, their limited resources, and low number of service members, are standing strong. They are strengthening, reorganizing, and confronting this climate of violence every day with determination and a sense of ultimate sacrifice. We have launched several concrete initiatives in the fight against banditry. Our soldiers protect, at the peril of their lives, critical government facilities such as the central bank, the international airport, customs, port, and telecommunication infrastructure. Despite our limited financial resources, we have invested in armored vehicles, set up new operational bases, and strengthened our response capabilities. We are planning the construction of new military bases in strategic areas to better cover the national territory. Our soldiers have been sent to France, to Mexico, to receive high-level training in intelligence, urban combat, and humanitarian relief. And I want to thank Taiwan that has been very instrumental in weapon acquisition. They have supplied us with much needed weapons and ammo, of course with the help of the United States as well. As you know, the Haitian armed forces were disbanded, dissolved in 1994, and it has been challenging to reestablish the armed forces, and because of the vacuum created by the absence of the armed forces, and we are where we are today. The United States has come a long way as a partner in understanding the necessity of building capable military forces to protect the entire Haitian territory. And we are very grateful for that. We appreciate the understanding. We are thankful to all the countries that have so far stepped up to assist us in this situation. We are particularly grateful to Mexico for, among other things, accepting to train 700 plus new recruits for us in groups of 150. We are very grateful to Mexico for that. And this is the kind of things we really would like state members to help us with to strengthen our military. These efforts, while being courageous and appreciated, remain insufficient without structural or more significant support. We have a lot of challenges to succumb. This is so because the existing threat we face today exceed our current capabilities as a people, as a military force, and the police to quell all alone. As a result, we are calling for solidarity and assistance from the international community or partners for more specific and urgent needs that we have. For example, supporting for the training of new soldiers and officers in order to secure the national territory, land and sea borders. The constructions of modern military bases, naval, air, and land stations. Basic military training centers to ensure a steady supply of well-prepared soldiers and officers. Appropriate military equipment, including drones, planes, helicopters, boats, to secure effectively to surveil our land and sea borders, which drug traffickers are using to infiltrate our territory. Logistical support to secure our coasts, which are currently used by traffickers, as I said, to support illegal armed gangs. We need regional cooperation to control our borders, particularly with the Dominican Republic, in order to stem the illegal entry of weapons, ammunition, and other illegal contraband. Strengthening our maritime control capacity to intercept suspicious vessels involved in criminal activities. Haiti's national sovereignty cannot be restored without a genuine collective effort, both nationally and internationally. As I previously said, this is not only a matter of Haiti's security, but the security of an entire region, because the stability of one state can quickly spread to its neighbors. Haiti cannot face and resolve this crisis alone. We are the first to admit it. We need your help. We need your expertise. We need equipment. We need your commitment. We really need your help. Haiti is in a very difficult situation. We need our partners in the international community, notably member states of the OAS. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Moise, for that excellent presentation. I am now pleased to introduce our next distinguished panelist. Mrs. Barbara Feinstein is a career member of the Senior Executive Service and currently serves as Deputy Assistant Secretary for Caribbean Affairs and Haiti at the Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs of the U.S. Department of State. Prior to her current role, she held various senior leadership positions at the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, including Deputy Assistant Administrator for Caribbean Affairs, Haiti, Cuba, Mexico, and Central America. Mrs. Feinstein has worked with both the U.S. Departments of State and Defense. She has also served on the professional staff of the House Appropriations Subcommittee on State and Foreign Operations and the House International Relations Committee of the U.S. Congress. She holds a master's degree in international relations and public affairs from Princeton University and a Bachelor of Arts in Latin American Studies, Spanish and Portuguese from the University of California, Berkeley. Deputy Assistant Secretary Feinstein, it is a pleasure to have you here with us today. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. Bonjour, buenos dias, bon dia, good morning. It is an honor to join you all today to discuss ways in which we can work together to help address Haiti's urgent security crisis. I want to begin today by expressing my deep appreciation to Secretary General Luis Almagro for his leadership and unwavering commitment to hemispheric security and democratic governance. I also wish to thank the Haitian authorities present here for being here and beyond that for moving this issue to the top of the policy agenda and helping to confront what is, as fellow panelists have stated, an absolutely existential threat to their security and the livelihood of the region overall. The symposium comes at a critical time, bringing OAS member states together in advance of next month's General Assembly to discuss how we can work collectively to improve the security environment in Haiti. As Secretary Rubio has said, the United States believes the OAS has a critical role to play on Haiti, and much more can and should be done to advance this critical priority for our hemisphere. Indeed, there is an immediate opportunity for our region to bolster its support to bring security and stability to the people of Haiti, and that is through the UN-authorized multinational security support mission, which the OAS has endorsed. In fact, the MSS Mission Support Office is housed in the OAS F Street building, and so there are built-in opportunities for greater collaboration between the MSS mission and the OAS. While we recognize that more must be done to combat the vicious gangs on the ground, the United States strongly supports the MSS mission and commends Kenya for its leadership of this initiative, as well as Jamaica, Guatemala, El Salvador, the Bahamas, and Belize for their personnel deployments. We also want to recognize Canada, the second largest financial contributor to this mission, not only for its material contributions, but also for its intellectual leadership and partnership on this initiative. Finally, we also recognize the Dominican Republic for their support and international advocacy to ensure that this issue remains at the top of the policy agenda. And finally, let me also recognize Germany, the Republic of Korea, France, Spain, Italy, Turkey, and Singapore, all supportive partners or OAS observer states, for their contributions to the UN Trust Fund in support of the MSS. The security crisis in Haiti is the largest in our hemisphere, and the region must do much more to urgently support the MSS mission. I also want to recognize the incredible bravery and courage of the Haitian National Police, who who are confronting the challenges of vicious gang violence each and every day, and of course of the armed forces of Haiti, as our colleague, the Minister of Defense, just articulated as well. Haiti, its people, and its security affect all of us. The United States urges all regional partners to immediately support the MSS mission through the deployment of mission personnel, in-kind contributions, and financial support. The United States remains deeply concerned about the escalating violence in Haiti, the growing influence of armed gangs, and the systemic erosion of institutions that form the backbone of governance and the rule of law. We are especially alarmed by the targeting of judicial officials and the dire humanitarian situation, including the displacement of over 1 million people. Taken in sum, Haiti's escalating security crisis poses a serious threat to the rule of law, democratic governance, and human rights, areas at the heart of the OAS Charter, the American Convention on Human Rights, and the Inter-American Democratic Charter, which guide this organization's core mission. Earlier this month, the Trump administration took decisive action by designating Vivre Ensemble and Grand Griffe, collectively representing some of Haiti's most vicious criminal groups, as foreign terrorist organizations and specially designated global terrorists. These groups are the primary source of instability in Haiti and are a threat to U.S. national security interests and to the collective security of our hemisphere. As our Deputy Secretary has made clear, this is a priority for the United States government, and we will take decisive action against those persons, including those in our own country, who are providing money, illegal weapons, drugs, or other forms of material support to the gangs now designated as terrorists. Terrorist designations are but one tool in our broader strategy to protect the United States, the American people, and our hemisphere by stopping the campaigns of violence and terror promoted by those vicious groups in the United States and internationally. We urge OAS members to facilitate direct cooperation with the United States on the investigation and prosecution of transnational crime, specifically to allow law enforcement information sharing with the United States. And to that end, I want to specifically acknowledge and thank the efforts of OAS SRSG Cristobal Dupuy for his leadership in this space. Earlier this week, the OAS convened law enforcement and justice operators in Miami to strengthen cooperation and information sharing to build stronger cases against those providing material support to foreign terrorist organizations. We also encourage the use of existing mechanisms at the OAS to enhance law enforcement and judicial cooperation. The Inter-American Convention Against Terrorism, which Haiti signed in 2002, provides a framework for collaboration on operational information and financial intelligence sharing, customs control, and joint investigations. It is time we fully leverage the commitments of the Convention to prevent, punish, and eliminate terrorism. Finally, as we discuss the issue in Haiti, we cannot be blind to an issue that has been raised by, I believe, every panelist at this table, and that is the issue of corruption. Corruption erodes trust and the effectiveness of any security or governance strategy, including efforts to restore democratic order through free and fair elections. The United States condemns the actions of those who commit abuses of office, including illicit public enrichment, work with terrorist organizations, and those who participate in arms and ammunition trafficking. This permissiveness only continues to fuel gang violence and complicates the resolution of this dangerous situation. Haiti ratified the Inter-American Convention Against Corruption in 2002, signaling its commitment to regional standards for promoting transparency, accountability, and integrity in public administration. Considering the current security and institutional challenges, advancing the implementation of this convention continues to be key in ongoing efforts to strengthen governance, reinforce the rule of law, and uphold democratic principles which unite us all as OAS member states. The U.S. government continues to work closely with with CARICOM, BNU, the Haitian government, the MSS mission, the Organization of American States, and the international community to drive progress forward. To that end, we encourage international stakeholders and donors to come to the table and contribute their fair share of mission personnel, in-kind contributions, and financial support. While we remain determined to assist the Haitian people achieve the peace, security, and prosperity that they deserve, the United States cannot continue shouldering such a significant financial burden. We stand in full support of Haitian-led and Haitian-owned solutions to the crisis, and the United States believes in the resilience of the Haitian people, and we respect their sovereignty. The OAS was founded on the principle that peace and justice must be preserved through solidarity. And the OAS is uniquely positioned not only as a forum for diplomacy, but as a vehicle for coordinated, concrete action. We must fully leverage the OAS's political will, legal tools, technical expertise, and cooperative mechanisms to confront the very real threat posed by transnational criminal actors and restore stability in Haiti. I thank you again for the opportunity to speak and look forward to our further discussion.
Thank you, Deputy Assistant Secretary Feinstein. I now present our third panelist, Mr. Jared Genser, OAS Special Advisor on the Responsibility to Protect. Mr. Genser is a renowned international human rights lawyer. He is also Managing Director of Perseus Strategies and a Senior Tech Fellow at Harvard University's Carr Ryan Center for Human Rights. He has done important work in freeing political prisoners and has served as counsel to 5 Nobel Peace Prize laureates. Mr. Genser has been a lecturer at Stanford University and an adjunct professor at Georgetown University, Penn, and Michigan law schools, where he has taught extensively on United Nations Security Council. He is the founder of Freedom Now, and his legal and academic work spans over 130 published op-eds and multiple books on human rights and international law. He holds degrees from Cornell, Harvard Kennedy School, and the University of Michigan Law School. Mr. Genser, I'm very pleased to offer you the floor.
Thanks so much, Your Excellencies. It's great to be with all of you here today and to speak on such an important issue. By way of some background, I was appointed by Secretary General Almagro in 2020 to serve as his pro bono special advisor on the responsibility to protect, to assist the OAS in improving its efforts to prevent and respond to atrocity crimes, including genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes, among others. And it's in this context that I would like to speak about Haiti today, and begin by emphasizing that I stand in solidarity with the government of Haiti and its people, asking the world to act urgently to not only ameliorate the suffering of the Haitian people, but to work with the government to enable it to restore control of its own territory, end the violence and the corruption, rebuild institutions, redeploy public services, and ultimately obtain justice and accountability for victims of the horrific crimes that have been committed. Indeed, in light of these enormous concerns, I'm working on a detailed report on the situation that I expect to publish in the next month or two at most, and my remarks here today will provide you a preview of this work. First, I'll provide some brief background on the responsibility to protect and the role of the OAS as a regional organization in its implementation. Then I'll summarize the key facts that inform my analysis and why I have concluded that what is happening in Haiti today constitutes crimes against humanity. And third and finally, I'll summarize my most important recommendations for key stakeholders around the world. By way of a little background on the responsibility to protect, or R2P, it was adopted by consensus by the UN General Assembly at the 2005 World Summit. It comprises 3 pillars. First, that every state has a responsibility to protect its population from the commission of atrocity crimes. Second, that the international community has the responsibility to encourage and to assist states in meeting this responsibility. And finally, that if a state is either committing mass atrocity crimes or is unwilling or unable to protect its own populations, then the international community must take appropriate collective action in a timely and decisive manner and in a way that is consistent with the requirements of the UN Charter. There's been much discussion already about the situation in Haiti today, but just briefly, some key points for purposes of an atrocity prevention analysis. 85% of Port-au-Prince is under gang control. There are 1 million Haitian internally displaced persons, with another 5.5 million in need of assistance. Between February and March of this year alone, more than 1,000 people were killed and some 400 injured, and 60,000 people fled their homes over an 8-week period of time due to gang violence. The gang violence has been present in recent years, but has reached a peak in the last few because of the gangs that joined forces under the Vivre Ensemble, which was formed to oppose the government and the UN. Just in the past month, the Vivre Ensemble's coalition seized the city of Mirabelais, broke open its prison, and orchestrated its 5th mass jailbreak in less than a year. And the Security Council has been warned by the UN Special Representative that Haiti is, quote, approaching a point of no return. So what are crimes against humanity? In short, crimes against humanity are certain acts when committed as part of a widespread and systematic attack directed against a civilian population pursuant to a state or organizational policy. And the kinds of crimes that can constitute crimes against humanity when committed in this manner include murder, enslavement, torture, rape, and sexual slavery. So why do I believe crimes against humanity are being committed in Haiti? In short, the spiraling gang violence constitutes crimes against humanity, first because of the widespread nature of the violence. It isn't confined to a handful of incidents, but has affected large swaths of the population across Haiti's major urban and rural areas. Annual homicide rates have doubled since 2022, and there have been at least 5,600 civilian deaths in 2024 alone, and other serious abuses like torture, sexual violence, forced child recruitment, and prolonged displacement. Second, the systematic character of the attacks also makes this crimes against humanity. The patterns of violence are planned and orchestrated by these gang coalitions. Civilians are systematically targeted, especially those who are believed to be collaborating with the government or rival gangs, or those trying to flee. Third, the targeting of civilians is part of this organizational policy. Mass killings, public executions, and sexual violence are not only used to eliminate dissent, but to instill fear and control in populations. The forced recruitment of children into gangs is part of this modus operandi. And the gang's hierarchical command sustain territorial control over some 85% of Port-au-Prince, and is supported by transnational arms pipelines and a wide array of collective efforts that are being undertaken by groups of these gangs. These gangs are committing the requisite material acts to constitute crimes against humanity: murder, torture, sexual violence, and enslavement. And the situation will continue to deteriorate unless decisive measures are taken. The biggest challenge facing Haiti today is the lack of urgency and political will from the international community that is commensurate with the severity of the crisis. And what is needed is the resources necessary to address a core component of the gang violence: a lack of security for the Haitian people. In my view, no sustained progress, political, economic, human rights, or humanitarian, is possible until Haitians are physically safe, and security is the foundational goal that we must all be working towards. In short, Vivre Ensemble's coordinated attacks against civilians constitutes crimes against humanity, and thus triggers the international community's responsibility to protect. We've developed a range of recommendations for different actors implicated in the crisis, but let me just conclude by sharing a few of those recommendations that are of special importance. First and foremost, unless the MSS is proven capable of providing security for the Haitian people, I believe the UN Security Council must adopt a Chapter 7 resolution that would convert the MSS mission into a UN peacekeeping operation with robust civilian protection mandate and enforcement for the embargoes that have been put in place, and a unit to undertake that work, and strengthen sanctions implementation. Second, I believe the government of Haiti, which has, of course, much work to be done, should, among other things, promote accountability for crimes against humanity, either by ratifying the Rome Statute or working towards a hybrid tribunal like a special court for atrocity crimes. Third, I believe the OAS Permanent Council should consider reconvening the Haiti Working Group and co-hosting a ministerial pledging conference that would marshal support for a Haiti Stabilization and Recovery Trust Fund that would provide for security, justice, and basic services programs. Fourth, for engaged governments, I believe they need to work collaboratively to strengthen and enforce the arms embargo through a joint maritime and border task force, to stop the flow of illicit weapons into Haiti, which really needs to be a top priority for the international community. In addition, there also needs to be, in my view, facilitated arms transfer to vetted Haitian police units, and the governments should collectively make use of a case-by-case licensing so that vetted Haitian police can match gang firepower. Proper vetting and safeguards should be implemented to ensure these firearms do not fall into the wrong hands. And finally, I believe that civil society international partners need to strengthen protection for threatened journalists and human rights defenders, broaden diaspora advocacy, and also establish both the capabilities for emergency relocation as well as legal defense. Let me just conclude with a quote from Toussaint Louverture, the most prominent leader of the Haitian Revolution, who famously said while a political prisoner at the end of his life in France, "En me renversant, vous n'avez fait qu'abattre le tronc de l'arbre de la liberté, et il repoussera parce que ses racines sont profondes, nombreuses et vigoureuses." Or in translation, by overthrowing me, you have defeated the trunk of the tree of freedom. It will grow back because its roots are deep, numerous, and vivacious. Louverture's remarks emphasize the enormous resilience of the Haitian people in their fight for freedom, and they very much resonate today as the people and the government are now intensely focused on their liberation from these criminal gangs. It is only through this historic struggle and through their relentless efforts, with the support of the international community, including the OAS, that the Haitian people will indeed see peace again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Genser, for that very interesting and insightful presentation. I am now very pleased to introduce our fourth panelist, Mr. Gaston Schulmeister, Director of the Department Against Transnational Organized Crime of the OAS. As the Director of the OAS Department Against Transnational Organized Crime, Mr. Schulmeister leads initiatives combating money laundering, human trafficking, and asset forfeiture. He holds a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Buenos Aires and a master's degree in international studies from the University of Torquato di Tella. He has specialized in security through programs at the William J. Perry Center in Washington, D.C., the University of Bradford in the United Kingdom as a Chevening Scholar, and the University of Delaware in the United States as a Fulbright Scholar. Director Schulmeister has over 20 years of experience working in security, defense, and justice in Latin America, and he has served as a consultant for the IDB, the UNODC, and the OAS, having held executive roles in Argentina's Ministry of Security. He was awarded the title of Cavaliere dell'Ordine della Stella d'Italia by the President of Italy in 2017 for his contributions to international cooperation against organized crime. Director Schulmeister, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mike, for the introduction. Excellency Mr. Smith Agustin, President Consular of the Republic of Haiti, Minister Patrick Pellissier, Minister Jean-Michel Moïse, Deputy Assistant Secretary Barbara Feinstein, distinguished head of delegations, permanent representatives, observers, fellow panelists, and colleagues. On behalf of the Department Against Transnational Organized Crime, of the Multidimensional Security Secretary in our organization, OAS, it's a great honor to participate in this very important and timely symposium on finding urgent solutions for the Haiti security crisis. We are all very aware that Haiti faces unprecedented challenges with roots and branches that extend far beyond its border, affecting regional stability and international security. In complementation to the previous presentations, from our perspective, I would like to highlight that at least 3 critical dimensions of Haiti's security landscape. First, the alarming expansion of gang-dominated territories. Second, the transnational criminal networks involved. And finally, the deficiencies in the country's anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks. Regarding the expansion of gang-dominated territories, I would like to highlight that, as we know, Haiti's security situation has deteriorated dramatically in recent years. According to UN statistics, for example, in 2023, armed gangs have been controlling an estimated 80% territory of Port-au-Prince. This represents a significant increase from approximately, let's say, 60% in 2022, as contrast, demonstrating the accelerating collapse of the state authority and in line with the presentation that we had the chance of having this morning here at the OAS. But taking into account consideration this presentation shared today from the authorities in Haiti, the situation seems even much more complex. Gang structures in Haiti have evolved beyond simple criminal enterprises into, let's say, sophisticated organizations with political connections. According to a 2023 report, for example, by the Center for Economic and Policy Research, gangs have become the de facto enforcement arm for various political factions, with evidence suggesting direct financial and logistical support flowing from political figures to armed groups. The economic foundation of these gang operations include, for example, systematic extortion of business in Haiti, with an estimated, for example, 30% of business paying protection fees, or control of critical infrastructure, including ports and transit routes, or kidnapping as a revenue stream, with ransom demanding averaging, for example, $200,000 for foreign nationals or $20,000 for Haitian citizens. And finally, the corruption of security forces highlighted today, for example, let's say with an estimated of 15% of police officers suspected of gang affiliation, according to different reports. So then, second term, I would like to highlight about transnational organized crime that has been highlighted also in the previous presentations. Haiti's strategic location in the Caribbean positions it as a critical node in transnational criminal networks, particularly in drug trafficking operations. The Haitian territory serves multiple functions in the global drug trade. Haiti has increasingly become as a preferred transit route for cocaine, moving from South America to North America and Europe. Then, less discussed but equally concerning is Haiti's emergence as a transit route for precursors chemicals used also for drug production. Haiti has also become both a source and a transit country for human trafficking victims, as has been highlighted also this morning. Just as a reference, the U.S. State Department's 2024 Trafficking in Person report maintained Haiti's Tier 3 status, noting that Haitian criminal networks collaborate with the smuggling organizations in neighboring countries to transport victims through the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and other Caribbean islands. Key statistics also include, for example, that approximately 2,180 victims of human trafficking that were identified in the wider Caribbean region in 2023. Or child trafficking increased by 27% between 2022 and 2023. In addition, an estimated 85% of human trafficking cases connected to broader criminal networks also involve drug trafficking. The third dimension on which I would like to highlight today is the dimension of Haiti securities crisis that involves severe deficiencies in the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks. In 2022, the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force mutual evaluation rated Haiti non-compliant or partially compliant with 35 of the famous 40 recommendations of the Financial Action Task Force, leading to the country's placement on the gray list of jurisdictions under increased monitoring. Key deficiencies identified include, for example, inadequate legal framework for prosecuting financial crimes, insufficient resources allocated for the Central Financial Intelligence Unit, limited capacity to investigate complex financial operations, weak supervisory mechanism for designated non-financial business and professions, among others. According to the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force report, Haiti's Financial Intelligence Unit processed only 37 suspicious transaction reports in 2022, resulting in just 4 investigations and 0 prosecutions. This represents a huge challenge and huge severe implementation gap. In addition, Haiti's predominantly cash-based economy presents unique challenges with an estimated 85% of economic activity occurring in the informal sector. This creates a perfect environment for money laundering. In sum, Haiti's security crisis represents a complex institutional challenge that requires a multidimensional approach. These include comprehensive reform of the security sector, such as professionalization and anti-corruption measures, enhanced regional cooperation to combat transnational criminal networks operating in Haiti, and the strengthening of the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks by improving the Financial Intelligence Unit operational independence, developing effective asset freezing mechanisms, implementing risk-based supervision across all financial sectors, and enhancing transparency in beneficial ownership. At the Organization of American States, through the Secretariat for Multinational Security, we have spent the last year designing an institutional response that not only reflects our mandates, but also builds on the tools and networks we have developed across the hemisphere. We call this Response Secure Haiti, our flagship program to support Haiti's national efforts in restoring security, reinforcing justice, and building institutional resilience. It is a practical, operational program that brings together the effort of all the SMS departments and links them with the work of our national office in Haiti, which plays a critical role in facilitating engagement with local stakeholders and institutions on the ground. Through our Department Against Transnational Organized Crime, in particular, we are also offering tailored expertise to support institutional strengthening in intelligence, investigations, and criminal justice reform, 3 areas that are central to breaking the cycle of impunity and organized crime in Haiti. But to be clear, none of this can happen without sustained political support and consistent, predictable donor engagement. This is where Secure Haiti becomes more than a program. It becomes a platform. We expect a platform for collaboration, for coordination, and for strategic investment. in Haiti's long-term security and stability. Let me close saying that we understand that Haiti doesn't lack voices for calling for help. We understand that it lacks sustained structure mechanism that can turn concern into commitment and commitment into action, following the willingness of all the OAS state members. From our technical perspective and assistance, security is at disposal. We look forward to working with all of you to make this effort real on the ground with the Haitian people and in support of regional security. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Director Schulmeister, for that presentation. Having completed the presentation portion of our panel, we will now proceed to the first round of questions, starting with Minister Pellissier. Minister, would you kindly share with us your perspective on how transnational organized crime has impacted the Haitian justice system, particularly regarding the independence and integrity of judicial institutions?
It doesn't work, see. Can you say again, sir, please? No.
If you could kindly share with us your perspective on how transnational organized crime has impacted the Haitian justice system, particularly regarding the independence and integrity of judicial institutions.
Encore une fois, et merci, monsieur le modérateur, et merci, monsieur le secrétaire général, et les représentants et les représentantes des États membres pour cette initiative. En fait, il y a un des panélistes qui vient de mentionner une liste de conventions internationales, notamment il y a depuis 1990 un effort essentiel menant vers la ratification d'un ensemble d'instruments internationaux, et parmi ces instruments, il faut mentionner la Convention interaméricaine contre la criminalité et transnationale organisée, qui comprend 3 principaux instruments. Haïti s'est attelé à mettre en œuvre, à se conformer justement aux recommandations de ces instruments en tant qu'État membre. Et dans ce sens, il y a un comité national de lutte contre la criminalité transnationale qui a été mise en place, donc qui est une institution étatique qui caractérise un effort, une avancée importante de l'État. Le système judiciaire, aujourd'hui, est incapable d'accueillir le flux de dossiers qui arrivent déjà, c'est-à-dire les dossiers ordinaires. Et il y a parallèlement une question d'expertise, parce que lorsqu'on parle de criminalité transnationale organisée, il y a les acteurs, il y a les criminels, mais il y a aussi l'expertise. Donc, l'impact, c'est d'abord au niveau de l'expertise. Nous n'avons pas suffisamment d'experts formés pour traiter ces questions de manière spécifique. Et ça, c'est un premier impact, parce que nous sommes en train de perdre la chance et d'organiser des procès et de liquider le passé et de mettre en place des mécanismes capables d'apporter des réponses efficaces à ces infractions transnationale. C'est dans ce sens que récemment, nous venons d'adopter un décret portant création de 2 pôles judiciaires spécialisés. Un pôle judiciaire sur les crimes de masse. Il y a un panéliste qui vient de mentionner que les crimes qui sont commis en Haïti constituent des crimes contre l'humanité. Effectivement, il a raison, et lorsqu'on parle de pôle judiciaire spécialisé pour les crimes de masse, il s'agit de pôles capables de traiter ces infractions internationales et ces infractions transnationales. Ça nous rabat encore sur la question de la capacité du système. Nous avons ce mécanisme, déjà un cadre légal parce que ça a été adopté tant au niveau du Conseil de gouvernement qu'au niveau du Conseil des ministres par un décret, mais ce cadre légal constitue encore une coquille vide. Parce que ces infractions internationales commises par des acteurs, aujourd'hui qui sont décrits comme des terroristes, ont besoin de mécanismes de réponse, et pas seulement des mécanismes de réponse, mais de personnel judiciaire qualifié. Et c'est là encore que Haïti a besoin du soutien de ses partenaires en termes de formation du personnel judiciaire et du nouveau personnel judiciaire qui va s'occuper de ces pôles spécialisés. Et il y a nombreux pays qui ont déjà répondu à l'appel. Il y a des organisations internationales qui travaillent en Haïti qui ont déjà répondu à l'appel. Mais la mise en œuvre est encore un objectif, je dirais, à moyen terme, parce qu'on n'a pas encore mis en place les tribunaux, les juridictions. Parallèlement, il y a la question sécuritaire qui nous empêche d'avancer au rythme que nous voulions avancer. Donc, et c'est ça toute la problématique centrale, non seulement la problématique sécuritaire et qui empêche le fonctionnement régulier des structures judiciaires, la mise en place d'un cadre légal qui n'est pas encore opérationnel parce que nous n'avons pas encore l'expertise. Et c'est ça fondamentalement et l'impact de ces crimes sur le système judiciaire.
Thank you, Minister. Our next question is directed to Minister Moise. Minister Moise, what are the principal challenges currently facing Haiti's defense sector in responding to the threat of transnational organized criminal networks?
Thank you for the question. We have many challenges, but some of the major ones is just frustrating that the gangs are so well armed and they have easy access to militarized weapons and ammunition. And the legal entities in Haiti, the army, the police, face challenges in acquiring weapons because, of course, we have the certain restrictions, particularly the Leahy law in the United States, that we would very much like to see our good friend, the United States, to lift this restriction, because the traffickers, gun and drug traffickers, they have easy access to those weapons, and we can't. It is very difficult for us to access those. And the incapacity of our armed forces and the police to properly secure the border, the land and sea coastlines, it's a very frustrating situation. The Haitian military was disbanded, as I said earlier, in 1994, and in 2017 was established, but we haven't been able to bring them to the level of capacity that we should. And this is one of the things that we need member states, the international community, to assist us with training and lifting restrictions and acquiring equipment, technologies for the military, particularly, and the police to be better equipped and winning the war against the banditry. And as the United States has properly designated the gangs as terrorist organizations. So, and because of military is very embryonic, with about 1,000 members, with not too much long-time training, they're unable still now to effectively combat the gangs, which are very strong, very well armed, very well financed by criminal drug traffickers and contraband individuals, using our weaknesses, our inability to control, to surveil our coastlines and the land border with the Dominican Republic. And this has been going on for a long, long time. And the challenges are so steep now. And because of the embryonic situation with the Army, then the enormous capacity of the gangs, which control major territories in Haiti, mainly the capital, about 85%, as previously said. And now we would like to see the international community and the OAS members to help us, like Mexico is doing right now, in training new recruits for us and officers to augment the ranks of the military and equip them with technologies, equipment, to allow them to take control over lost territories and prevent the taking of new spaces in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Moise. The next question is directed to Deputy Assistant Secretary Feinstein. In recent days, the United States has designated the Vivre Ensemble Gang Coalition and the Grand Grief Gang as foreign terrorist organizations and specially designated global terrorists. Given these developments, how does the recent designation of Haiti's main gangs as terrorist entities help to shape U.S. foreign policy towards that country?
Thank you very much. So as I stated in my remarks, this designation we consider decisive action by the Trump administration to recognize the gangs for what they are, for the vicious nature of, and transnational nature in many cases, of the efforts that they are carrying out in the country. We believe that this is going to be a critical tool to unlock a lot of judicial cases, specifically against those who are providing material support. I think nearly every member of this panel has talked about the role of those, whether in the United States, elsewhere in the region, or in Haiti, providing some form of material support, which is strengthening gangs. And we recognize that includes very much illicit firearms coming from this country. So we intend to use these new authorities within our country to decisively take action against those that are providing material support, and we believe that that is a critical part. It alone will be insufficient, let me be clear. We also need a stronger security response, as we've discussed as well, among various other measures. Corruption and combating endemic corruption is also critical. But we do believe that the FTO designation will be critical in terms of taking the concrete actions necessary to stop this material support that is allowing these gangs to exert the kind of control that we are seeing in Haiti today.
Thank you, Deputy Assistant Secretary Feinstein. Now over to Mr. Jared Genser. Sir, based on your analysis of the situation in Haiti, within the existing international protection frameworks, what responsibilities does the international community hold in supporting a response to the current crisis?
Well, thanks for the important question. You know, the title for the symposium today is Finding Urgent Solutions for the Haiti Security Crisis. And from my viewpoint, that is a dramatic understatement because what we're seeing in Haiti is, of course, a security crisis, but it's also a situation where specific, widespread, systematic, and horrific crimes against humanity, including murder, rape, sexual slavery, and the recruitment of child soldiers, are being committed and are being directed at a civilian population. And it's important to emphasize that analyzing the situation as one that should be dealt with by applying a conflict resolution lens and or a human rights protection lens omits the obligation of the international community to prevent and respond to atrocity crimes, which has been made in many different ways over many decades, if not longer. And so what I would say is that the atrocity prevention lens also needs to be applied to the situation in Haiti, both to amplify the urgency of a need for specific action, and it really requires a robust, multilateral, and well-coordinated approach that goes to the heart of the fact that these kinds of crimes are being committed. So I think that there are a wide array of actions that have been taken and that are continuing to be taken, which are very, very important. But I do think that there is a gap between the severity of the crisis and the way that it's being characterized that needs to be recognized and needs to be made a part of that public discussion, because the urgency to deal with the security crisis comes across as something that any ordinary person would say, yes, of course, we should address the security crisis. But I think when you frame what is happening in Haiti as crimes against humanity being committed by these criminal gangs, terrorist groups, and so forth, then it creates a much greater sense of a need for urgent action to ameliorate the suffering of the Haitian people and to restore security for them and peace for them as something that has to be of central importance to the agenda of the international community.
Thank you, Mr. Gesser, for that response. Continuing on to Director Gaston Schulmeister. Director Schulmeister, the OAS has been involved in Haiti during this challenging period. How would you kindly elaborate on how the organization, through the Secretariat for Multidimensional Security, has been assisting Haiti in addressing the current situation?
Thank you very much, Mike, again. Yes, first of all, I would like to mention and highlight that, the efforts we have been doing, we are doing, are obviously complementary to the discussion, or beside the discussion regarding the mission or the field mission in terms of security, or what kind of military operation would be involved, should be involved, et cetera, et cetera. But in that framework, we have been doing efforts in terms of strengthening institutional capabilities of the security system for Haiti. Barbara mentioned some examples, the efforts together with the National Police, for example, together with some efforts in the area of SICTE within our Secretariat for Multidimensional Security, and regarding the control on ports. So in that framework, that are the kind of examples of the very robust portfolio of programs that OAS has already demonstrated, not only in Haiti, but across all the region that we are, in conditions of providing technical assistance to the different state members of the OAS. So I'm talking about combating transnational organized crime, money laundering, improving the capabilities of the police forces across the region. So in that framework, what we call security has at least 4 main pillars. The first one is to enhancing security and operational capacity, especially of the Haitian National Police, as mentioned before, through recruitment, training, and support for tactical units. Second, the second point is strengthening the rule of law and judicial institutions, including legal reform and anti-corruption efforts and anti-money laundering actions. Third, a point that has been highlighted regarding the combating armed trafficking and securing borders through coordinated operations, legislative frameworks, and regional partnerships. And finally, the fourth pillar is promoting community-oriented policing and social development to rebuild trust between law enforcement and local populations while addressing root causes of instability. So I guess that these are examples for which we can provide and for which we are completely at disposal to any potential discussion regarding how OAS could reinforce the efforts that we have been doing and we could do in the near future, given the huge challenges in terms of security in Haiti.
Thank you, Director Schulmeister. We will now proceed to a second round of questions, starting once more with Minister Pellissier. Minister, first we would like to acknowledge the significant efforts of your ministry in addressing the complex challenges facing Haiti. We are keen to learn about the initiatives and strategies that have had a positive impact and are yielding tangible results. Could you kindly share with us some of the key successes or progress that your ministry has made in tackling these challenges?
Merci. Le ministère de la Justice et de la Sécurité publique a mis en place un plan d'action depuis novembre 2024 qui est basé sur 3 axes. Le premier axe, c'est la sécurité. Le second axe, c'est le rôle du ministère dans la réforme constitutionnelle et les élections. Et le troisième axe, c'est justement l'état de droit qui concerne le fonctionnement de la justice, les prisons. Sur l'axe sécuritaire, le ministère de la Justice regarde la sécurité sous 2 angles. Le premier angle, c'est la sécurité générale du pays, et le second angle, c'est la sécurité au regard du processus électoral, parce que nous n'oublions pas que le gouvernement de transition a un mandat, la transition a un contenu, et la fin de la transition, c'est l'organisation des élections. De ce fait, la sécurité est liée à l'organisation des élections aussi. Et dans ce champ, il y a tout un ensemble d'actions que le ministère de la Justice a pris de concert avec le CSPN, c'est-à-dire le Conseil supérieur de la police nationale d'Haïti, qui consiste notamment en l'augmentation en effectif de la police nationale d'Haïti. Il y a une nouvelle promotion de 739 policiers gradués à l'Académie de police pour apporter des réponses clés aux questions du sous-effectif des forces de police sur le terrain. Et comment la situation se présente? Nous avons environ 10 000 policiers pour 12 millions d'habitants, ce qui donne un ratio d'1 policier pour chaque 12 000 habitants. Donc, il faut augmenter le nombre de policiers sur le terrain, mais en effectif, mais aussi en capacité. Nous avons déployé et développé avec nos partenaires et avec la police nationale d'Haïti aussi un programme de formation spéciale avancée pour 400 parmi ces 739 policiers. Et nous avons aussi débloqué des fonds dans les hautes interventions publiques pour financer des opérations assez intensives sur le terrain. Et malgré la faiblesse de la police nationale en effectivité, on a pu contenir des avancées des gangs sur certains fonds. Nous avons créé récemment une task force qui amplifie les réponses sur le terrain dans les différents fronts. Et cette task force utilise des moyens technologiques assez avancés et notamment des drones qui sont utilisés dans les opérations actuellement et qui font reculer les gangs sur des zones assez stratégiques, comme par exemple Delma 30 et Crissois, Delma 19, des zones très importantes et qui constituaient autrefois une menace. Le gouvernement vient d'adopter un décret portant création d'une agence nationale de sécurité et c'est une agence qui travaille dans le domaine de l'intelligence. Nous avons déjà contacté plusieurs institutions internationales et qui vont nous aider dans la formation de ces agents en matière d'intelligence parce que l'intelligence et la contre-intelligence constituent un déficit majeur dans les opérations de la police sur le terrain et la compréhension de la problématique de la sécurité. Et sur le plan judiciaire, non seulement nous avons créé les pôles judiciaires sur la corruption, c'est-à-dire sur les crimes financiers, mais aussi sur les crimes de masse. Nous avons aussi délocalisé le tribunal de première instance de Port-au-Prince en permettant que d'ici l'horizon juillet, il y aura des assises criminelles à Port-au-Prince après 8 ans sans assises criminelles. Et nous attaquons de plein fouet et d'autres questions qui constituent des conséquences de l'insécurité, notamment la question de la problématique centrale de la justice qui est la détention prolongée dans les régions. Donc, essentiellement, ce sont les actions, les principales actions, les grands axes d'action du ministère de la Justice et pour la sécurité, mais on regarde tout ça dans l'objectif de la tenue des prochaines élections parce que ces efforts sont déployés justement pour créer un climat, et je ne dirais pas totalement sécuritaire, mais un climat assez apaisé pour la tenue des élections.
Thank you very much, Minister, for that response. I direct a second question to Minister Moise. Minister, would you kindly share with us some of the key initiatives or achievements that the ministry that of your ministry that have been particularly impactful in addressing the challenges facing the defense sector?
Thank you very much again for this question. The Haitian Armed Forces, as I mentioned earlier, have been disbanded in 1994 and were mobilized in 2017. And since then, there haven't been much investment made in the armed forces, especially in the last 3 years. Although they are very small in numbers, about 1,000 members, they were not prepared for this kind of challenge they face today with urban warfare coming from the gang, well-trained, well-organized, easier for them to recruit desperate young men and women and arm them through the open border and the open sea coast, and with the criminal drug trafficking going on in our southern coastlines. Although they're very limited in numbers, the main things the Haitian military has been able to do and to prevent the total collapse of the government is to secure very critical institutions such as the central bank, the port, international airport of Port-au-Prince, customs, and important critical communication infrastructure. Without those institutions, the government would not have been able to function still. As you can understand, the army is very small, very embryonic, and we have been trying to basically, in our budget, appropriate funds to build new bases, to train more soldiers. Although it's very difficult to find construction materials to build those infrastructure because of the challenges the gangs pose in Haiti, and a lot of businesses close, especially in the capital. And so far, we have been able to keep the government functioning in the very small space that we can function in Port-au-Prince by providing necessary security for those institutions. And it is very important to understand that we did not expect to face this steep challenge coming from the armed groups, and they have become so strong within the past, I would say, 3 years. All of a sudden, the government did not expect this situation to arise as fast as it is. And so we're trying very hard to see with our partners, like I mentioned earlier, that Mexico is one of the countries helping us to train new soldiers, so we can augment the rank of the military. That is one of the things we're trying to do, and we need the help of our partners and the international community to win this war against the gangs. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Maurice, for that very interesting response. I'd like to proceed to our next question for Deputy Assistant Secretary Feinstein. On June 3rd, 2002, Haiti signed the Inter-American Convention Against Terrorism, which encourages cooperation and the exchange of information to enhance border and customs control measures aimed at detecting and preventing international movement of terrorists, as well as the trafficking of arms or materials supporting terrorist activities. In this regard, what opportunities exist for enhanced regional collaboration to tackle cross-border criminal activities affecting Haiti?
Thank you very much for that question. It is clear, as all of the panelists here have articulated, that the porous borders, both on the land side as well as on the maritime side, contribute greatly to the crisis in Haiti. And the United States recognizes the role that we play, as I have emphasized, in terms of our efforts and intent to do even more to address the scourge of illegal firearms trafficking. As noted, I do think the FTO designation also will be a critical tool in that space. But there is clearly much more that we as a region can do to address this issue, including utilizing some of the capacities of the OAS and of individual member states. So as noted earlier, we call on others resident in this room and throughout the hemisphere to be working together more concretely to address these issues of illegal firearms trafficking and other illicit contraband getting into and out of Haiti, so that we can have a more secure hemisphere overall.
Thank you very much, Deputy Assistant Secretary Feinstein. With that, we have exhausted the time allotted for this panel discussion. I would like to take this opportunity to express our deepest appreciation to all our distinguished panelists for their valuable insights. Today's dialogue underscores the importance of a unified and strategic regional response, and the need to remain committed to supporting Haiti through collaboration, solidarity, and innovation. We will now proceed to take a 15-minute break, after which member states, observers, and our panelists are invited to return to this room for the interactive dialogue. Thank you. Good morning to all. We'd like to invite everybody back to the Hall of the Americas to continue our interactive dialogue this afternoon. We invite everybody to please come back to the Hall of the Americas. Thank you.
distinguished heads of delegation, permanent representatives and alternate representatives of the OAS member states, distinguished permanent observers to the OAS, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to all. I am very pleased to serve as moderator of this interactive dialogue session, following up on the very informative panel discussion of this morning. And I'm joined at the head table by Mr. Patrick Pellissier, Minister of Public Security and Justice, Mr. Jean-Michel Moïse, Minister of Defense of Haiti, and Mr. Gaston Schulmeister, Director of the OAS Department Against Transnational Organized Crime. Delegations will have the opportunity to refer questions to our distinguished panelists, as well as offer any comments they wish to share on this subject matter. As such, I will be offering the floor first to the delegations of the member states and then to our distinguished permanent observers. We ask that all interventions be kept to 5 minutes or less to preserve the interactive spirit of this session. As indicated in the symposium's agenda, this dialogue is scheduled for 60 minutes. With that said, I invite, there is just a request from Argentina to be the first because the ambassador will have to leave, so we'll give the floor first for Argentina and then we go back to the list. Argentina, please, ambassador.
Gracias, presidente. Pido disculpas, tengo una reunión que tengo que salir volando y gracias a todos mis colegas por dejarme hablar. Presidente, permítame saludar a los ministros de Defensa y el ministro de Seguridad y Justicia de Haití y también a Gaston Schulmeister en la mesa. La Argentina sigue con mucha atención y preocupación la situación en Haití y está fuertemente comprometida con la búsqueda de soluciones que permitan al gobierno y al pueblo haitiano resolver la crisis política, económica y social que enfrentan en la actualidad. Argentina tiene una larga tradición de cooperación con Haití. Solo haciendo memoria, en esta reunión podría recordar nuestro rol en la MINUSTA o en la instalación del Hospital Militar en Puerto Príncipe. Pero la más reciente y a la cual tuve el honor de coorganizar fue junto con el apoyo de Francia en el marco de las acciones del Programa Mundial de Alimentos, el PMA, para impulsar el desarrollo de huertas escolares que permitieran a las comunidades escolares construir plataformas inclusivas y solidarias que involucran a las familias en la producción de sus propios alimentos. Y nuestros técnicos y nuestras semillas fueron parte de ese proyecto. No obstante ello, innumerables veces debimos interrumpir el proyecto por el riesgo de vida que corría nuestra gente. Ello confirma lo expresado por todos los miembros del panel, que el impacto humanitario de la violencia a los derechos humanos, por lo que consideramos urgente dar una pronta solución a las problemáticas que hacen a la seguridad pública y a la administración de justicia en Haití. Esto es una condición fundamental para avanzar sobre las brechas de desarrollo que afectan al pueblo haitiano. Ello incluye impulsar acciones decididas para prevenir y combatir el tráfico de armas, así como neutralizar los circuitos de flujos financieros ilícitos en el país que obran como fuente de ingreso de las propias bandas. Como lo expresara en varias oportunidades desde que asumí hace 30 días en esta nueva posición, la cuestión haitiana no es solo un problema haitiano, es un problema de todos. Me han escuchado hablar de la importancia de mantener la relevancia de la OEA en el futuro. Y sin lugar a dudas, parte de esa relevancia se juega con la capacidad de la OEA para encontrar soluciones concretas para Haití. En el día de ayer, Argentina se sumó al grupo de miembros del Grupo de Trabajo sobre Haití, como se lo había prometido a la embajadora de Haití aquí en la OEA. Y esperamos contribuir a los esfuerzos de la comunidad internacional para promover la recuperación socioeconómica, la reconstrucción y la estabilidad de Haití en cooperación con su gobierno y respetando sus prioridades. Argentina está lista para participar de todas las conversaciones que nos permitan encontrar soluciones concretas para Haití. Muchísimas gracias.
I'll give the floor now to the Dominican Republic Ambassador, please.
Gracias, señor presidente. Permítame saludar al ministro de Seguridad Pública y Justicia de Haití, señor Patrick Pellissier, al ministro de Defensa, también de ese país, el señor Jean-Michel Moïse, y al señor Gastón Schulmeister, director del Departamento contra el Crimen Organizado de la OEA. Señor presidente, agradezco a la Misión Permanente de Haití ante la OEA y a la Secretaría de Seguridad Multidimensional por la realización y coordinación de este simposio y a cada uno de los distinguidos panelistas por abordar con tanta claridad y compromiso los múltiples desafíos que enfrenta actualmente Haití. La profundidad de sus análisis y las propuestas que han presentado son fundamentales para avanzar en soluciones concretas. Para República Dominicana, acompañar a Haití en la superación de esta crisis no es solo una prioridad y un asunto de seguridad nacional, es una necesidad humana, histórica y geográfica. La estabilidad y la seguridad de Haití son inseparables de la estabilidad y la seguridad de mi país y de la región. La crisis en Haití afecta directamente a República Dominicana, lo que ha llevado a nuestras autoridades a tomar medidas excepcionales en la frontera para proteger la seguridad y estabilidad de nuestro territorio. Esto lo hacemos con la responsabilidad de proteger a nuestra nación, pero también con la esperanza de que la comunidad internacional responda y apoye los esfuerzos hacia una paz duradera en Haití. Reiteramos el llamado de redoblar los esfuerzos conjuntos y cumplir con los compromisos asumidos por la comunidad internacional para hacer frente a la grave situación humanitaria, económica y de inseguridad que viven los vecinos haitianos. La lucha contra el crimen organizado transnacional debe ocupar un lugar central en este esfuerzo. La violencia que sufre el pueblo haitiano está directamente vinculada al accionar de las bandas criminales que trafican con armas, personas y bienes ilícitos. Solo a través de una coordinación efectiva y sostenida entre las autoridades de Haití y la comunidad internacional se podrá hacer frente a estas amenazas hasta eliminarlas. En el caso de República Dominicana, hemos venido fortaleciendo nuestras capacidades institucionales para combatir el tráfico ilícito de armas, un fenómeno particularmente preocupante en Haití, donde las armas circulan con alarmante facilidad. En ese sentido, destacamos el gran trabajo que viene realizando con la OEA en el marco de la hoja de ruta de Centroamérica y República Dominicana para prevenir el tráfico y la proliferación de armas, municiones y explosivos, la cual ha servido como un marco estratégico para orientar nuestras acciones nacionales en este ámbito. No obstante, reconocemos que los esfuerzos individuales no son suficientes. La gravedad de la crisis en Haití requiere un compromiso más sólido de parte de la comunidad internacional, especialmente en términos de recursos técnicos y financieros. También creemos firmemente que la OEA puede asumir un rol más activo tanto en el seguimiento de la situación como en la facilitación de iniciativas de apoyo a las instituciones haitianas. Aprovecho para agradecer a la subsecretaria Feinstein por reconocer el liderazgo y solidaridad de mi país para mantener la atención de la comunidad internacional sobre la situación en Haití. Finalmente, si bien queda mucho por hacer, es importante reconocer que se han dado pasos positivos. Existen avances concretos en materia de cooperación, en la voluntad política y en el compromiso regional. La clave ahora está en no detenernos y seguir trabajando con firmeza y solidaridad para lograr una Haití segura, estable y con instituciones fortalecidas. Muchas gracias.
I was just informed that we have interpretation only for English, in English and French. So if you can use one of these languages would be appreciated. Tenemos interpretación solamente en español, en inglés y francés. No tenemos en español y en portugués. Gracias. I now give the floor to the ambassador of San Vicente and the Grenadines. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. Minister of Public Security and Justice of Haiti, Mr. Patrick Pellissier. Minister of Defense of Haiti, Mr. Jean-Michel Moise. Director of the Department Against Transnational Organized Crime of the Secretariat for Multidimensional Security, Mr. Gaston Schulmeister. Excellencies, guests, at the outset, the delegation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines expresses its appreciation for today's symposium and thanks the organizers and presenters for the perspectives shared and for the analysis presented. The alarming and ever-worsening security and humanitarian situation in Haiti has been discussed at length in the multilateral arena. My delegation will not repeat the details, for they have been adumbrated here and are well known in the Caribbean region and in the hemisphere. Yet, no one knows these details better than our Haitian brothers and sisters themselves, for whom this is a lived daily reality. My delegation urges the international community, including the Organization of American States, to support the Haitian nation in addressing this existential crisis in Haiti. Mesdames, Messieurs, je vous assure que la vie du peuple haïtien est aussi valable que toute autre vie. Il faut absolument protéger cette population. Le moment d'engager des actions concrètes pour accompagner tous ces efforts diplomatiques est arrivé si on veut mettre fin à la violence et au déplacement des gens haïtiens. Thank you, Chair.
Merci. I now give the floor to the delegation of Brazil.
Thank you, Mr. President. And through you, let me thank the Haitian authorities and the OAS for organizing this symposium. The severity of the situation in Haiti compels us to discuss the issue in all possible forums, in a frank and open manner in search of constructive and creative solutions for the country. Brazil closely follows the multidimensional crisis affecting Haiti. The solutions to this crisis must be led by Haitians. We are ready to support the country's authorities in their pursuit of stability. We also know that without decisive support from the international community, the crisis is likely to worsen. In our recent history, Brazil played a leadership role in MINUSTA. Furthermore, Brazil welcomed a significant Haitian community for humanitarian reasons. Brazil's recent contributions to Haiti include the establishment of a vocational training center in Lequé and the construction of 3 hospitals. We are also launching, through the Brazilian Cooperation Agency and the Federal Police, the first training course for Haitian police officers. On June 13, during the Brazil-Caribbean Summit, we will have the opportunity to discuss the challenges related to the multidimensional crisis in Haiti, as well as topics such as food security and climate change. In the current context, marked by a resurgence of gang-related violence, security is a precondition for the Haitian government to provide essential services to the population. We must acknowledge that without an improvement in the security situation, progress in other areas, including institutional consolidation, will be difficult to achieve. While we recognize the important work carried out so far by the MSS in Haiti, we must also acknowledge the challenges it faces in fulfilling its mandate and identify ways to respond effectively to this and other problems facing the country. The continuous flow of weapons to gangs is a key factor sustaining the violence. It is essential to ensure the full implementation of the UN sanctions regime related to Haiti, including the arms embargo. The United Nations must continue to play a central role in the search for solutions to the security crisis affecting the Caribbean country. Political stability is also crucial to counter violence. A united political front is important to confront the serious threat posed by gang violence. We commend Haitian actors for their efforts toward political dialogue and acknowledge the tireless work of the Caribbean community in this regard. Furthermore, peace-building elements must be addressed simultaneously so that Haiti may succeed in its quest for stability, sustainable development, food security, institutional strengthening, full respect for human rights in all dimensions, and a robust judicial system combined with efficient and accountable police force. We also hope that the Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty, launched during Brazil's presidency of the G20, may contribute significantly to Haiti's development as a pilot country of the initiative. At the OAS in particular, we have high expectations that the various mandates already approved by political bodies may be implemented based on the recognized areas of excellence of this organization. We also believe it is important to learn the perspective of the newly elected Secretary General on the potential contribution of the OAS to the situation in Haiti. Thank you.
Thank you. I now give the floor to Costa Rica. Ambassador, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Good afternoon, distinguished President of the Transitional Presidential Council of Haiti, permanent representatives, dear Ambassador Mirta de Sulmé, Mr. Secretary General and Director Schulmeister, distinguished panelists and guests, good afternoon to all of you. Allow me to begin by expressing Costa Rica's deep solidarity with Haitian people who today face one of the most complex crises in the recent history. Haiti needs, now more than ever, the determined commitment of all representatives of this hemispheric community. The situation before us, marked by the advance of transnational organized crime, the awakening of judicial institutions, and the daily suffering of millions of Haitians, cannot and must not be normalized. As a region, we cannot allow violence, impunity, and despair to become the norm. Costa Rica has firmly maintained that democracy, security, and human rights are intrinsically linked. That is why any solution to the crisis in Haiti must place human dignity and strengthening of the rule of law and institutional recovery at its core. We recognize the tremendous effort of the Haitian authorities who now face the enormous challenge of regaining territorial control, restoring justice, and rebuilding public trust. We also appreciate the efforts of various departments of the OAS, General Secretariat, the member states, through the voluntary group for monitoring the situation in Haiti, and other regional partners in the search for urgent yet sustainable responses, many of whom are represented here in the Hall of the Americas. From our perspective, three elements are fundamental: effective regional cooperation and collaboration. Combating organized crime that operates across borders requires shared intelligence, arms control, anti-money laundering efforts, and joint actions. Beyond identifying the problem, we must act with coherence and political will. Second, institutional strengthening. It is imperative to support Haiti in rebuilding its judicial and security capacities under strict human rights standards. Investing in training, protection for justice operators, and technical assistance are key in this process. And the third one, active participation of the Haitian people. Any path towards peace and justice must include the participation of Haitian society, including women, youth, community leaders, and of course the diaspora. Costa Rica reiterates its commitment to a multilateral and coordinated response based on institutional strength, solidarity, and shared responsibility. Haiti is not alone, and it must not be alone. With hope and determination, We will continue to support all ongoing efforts to help restore the Haitian people's fundamental right to live in peace. Merci beaucoup pour votre attention.
I now give the floor to the delegation of Canada.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon, all. And I would like also to take this opportunity to thank all the panelists for their enlightening presentations and insights into the situation in Haiti. Much has been said, Mr. Chair, and I would like to focus on 3 issues mainly here. First, human rights. Canada remains gravely concerned by the escalating human rights crisis in Haiti, where rampant gang violence has displaced over 1 million people, subjected civilians to widespread abuse, including sexual abuse and violence, and stripped communities of safety and dignity. We are also concerned that NGOs operating in Haiti face uncertainty about the general licenses that would authorize certain humanitarian activities, such as aid delivery in gangs-controlled areas, following the designation by the US of Vive Ansan and Grand Grief gangs as terrorists. More clarity on how these measures and others will be enforced could ensure that they do not deter those engaged in delivering humanitarian aid. On the justice sector, Mr. Chair, impunity and corruption are 2 major causes for continued insecurity. A strengthened justice system is needed to ensure that no one is above the law. We commend the Transitional President Council for the approval of a decree to create 2 special jurisdictions, or pôles judiciaires, one dedicated to mass crimes and sexual violence, and the other in the fight against financial crime. The creation of these 2 jurisdictions will allow concrete actions against those fueling instability and violence in Haiti through corruption, embezzlement, money laundering, fiscal fraud, and fraudulent border measures. International partners can support these jurisdictions by providing financial contributions via UNODC, which already provides funding for the jurisdictions. International efforts should feature providing technical expertise and capacity building to Haiti's justice sector. On election, it is essential that elections in Haiti be organized in a manner that fosters trust in the process by the Haitian population and fights impunity and corruption among the political and economic elite. We encourage Haitian authorities to work with the OAS Department for Electoral Cooperation and Observation and the Venice Commission, who have provided recommendations on needed electoral reforms. But let us be clear, Mr. Chair, that Haitians have to lead the way on proposing solutions that the international community can support. Only Haitian-led solutions will be sustainable over time. Canada remains ready to continue working with Haiti to find and implement solutions that can bring it on a greater path to security, democracy, and prosperity. Thank you.
Delegation of Uruguay have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. My delegation wishes to express its gratitude for the convening of this symposium and for the presentations delivered, which have clearly illustrated the severity of the situation currently facing Haiti. The numerous challenges stemmed from this crisis are a matter of deep concern for Uruguay. The security and well-being of the people of Haiti are essential not only for Haiti itself, but for the stability and the prosperity of our entire region. We are particularly alarmed by the escalating spiral of violence driven by the actions of gangs and armed groups, which are undermining the country's institutional framework and violating the human rights of its population. Fully aware of the seriousness of the situation, Uruguay has actively participated in the ongoing discussion within the United Nations framework, aiming at providing an effective response to these challenges. Mr. President, we would like to take this opportunity to once again reaffirm our unwavering commitment to Haitian people. In this regard, Uruguay believes that it is fundamental to redouble our efforts to strengthen regional cooperation and to promote a solidarity-based approach, one that is grounded in full respect for human rights and capable of addressing the multiple challenges currently facing Haiti. Our commitment to peace, stability, and sustainable development in the region are core pillars of Uruguay foreign policy and will continue to guide our engagement moving forward. Thank you.
I now give the floor to the delegation of Ecuador.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like first to welcome and thank you the Haitian authorities and the panelists who took part in this important symposium. Ecuador, Latin America, and the Caribbean will always remember the historic contribution of Haiti to the freedom of our country and our region, as well as its contribution to freedoms around the world. That is why we must work effectively by demonstrating regional and international solidarity and unity, by promoting complementarity and synergy action from all multilateral fora where the OAS cannot be the exception. Ecuador is driven by full awareness of the responsibility of our organization to support the efforts of Haiti in overcoming the multidimensional challenges its people face in the areas of security, peace, development, and human rights. Our country is experiencing significant growth in transnational organized crime, which poses a multi-phased threat requiring multidimensional responses and regional cooperation to confront it. The violence of organized crime can extend to drug trafficking, terrorism, human trafficking, arms trafficking, illegal mining and logging, forced labor, efforts to infiltrate corruption into public institutions and private entities, or the appropriation of land and natural resources with even devastating environmental impacts. These criminal networks threaten security, undermine human dignity, and multiply social suffering. It is therefore essential to protect the rights of all people against violations committed by criminality, particularly those linked to transnational organized crime. Our responsibility has been reflected in Ecuador's work during its tenure in the Security Council, where together with the United States, we work with the membership in several key resolutions, including renewal and strengthening of the mandate of BINU, the arms embargo, and the deployment of the multinational security support mission in Haiti, respectful of Haiti's sovereignty. But we must be clear, any security effort on its own will not resolve the crisis in all its dimensions. There must be appropriate support from the international community. Technical work of the OAS mechanism must continue to be supported, especially in promoting border and port control and in trafficking illicit financial flows within other international agencies. Ecuador is ready to continue supporting Haiti through any initiative in the international fora. In those lines, we would like also to reiterate the need to keep working on synergies among all actions given to Haiti's situation by the international community. Thank you.
I now give the floor to Colombia.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, let me thank you for organizing this meeting. Colombia stands in solidarity with the Haitian people. As a country that promotes peace, Colombia supports initiatives that contribute to achieve peace in Haiti, and we are convinced that the solutions to the situation must be led by Haitian authorities with the strong cooperation of the international community. Colombia thanks the Secretary General for the Organization of American States for continuing to urge the international community to help Haiti overcome the crisis. The Organization of American States plays a fundamental role in the strengthening democratic governance, mediation, and political dialogue. Colombia has been accompanying and participating in the meetings within the framework of the Organization of American States to address the situation in Haiti in accordance with the principles of promotion and protection of human rights, democracy, sovereignty, and cooperation. Colombia stressed the importance of an even more decisive involvement of the international community in the solution of Haitian crisis, aimed at promoting as soon as possible a political dialogue and guaranteeing inclusive participation and the preparations for elections and democratic transition. It should be noted that the Haitian crisis is yet another reflection of the violence generated by drug trafficking, and that its solution also involves the global need to introduce a comprehensive approach to the world drug problem that includes human security, human rights, health, social and environmental issues, but also the monitoring of illicit financial flows at the global level in order to combat transnational organized crime. We are also committed to reinforcing control and patrolling in the area of La Guajira and strengthening interdiction in maritime border between border of Colombia and Haiti. That said, Colombia has prioritized its cooperation with Haiti by assisting the Haitian government as its police force in the integral attention to the problem of urban violence caused by youth gangs, particularly in the Cité Soleil and in Port-au-Prince. We take this opportunity to reiterate the proposal of cooperation in citizen security developed by National Police of Colombia, focused on a comprehensive and human intervention to address the problem of urban violence caused by youth gangs, aimed at articulating different actors in vulnerable territories to ensure education, training, and employability as routes to eliminate violence. At the end of 2022, the government of Haiti requests cooperation to Colombia in the area of technical cooperation in processes and mechanisms of electoral transparency and methodologies of control and efficiency in electoral process. The National Register of Civil Service in Colombia, Registraduría Nacional, is available to offer this help. As we have stated before, it is important to consider that the solution to this crisis will not be possible without a comprehensive and long-term approach that includes human rights, social, environmental, economic, and security issues with a human approach. Thank you.
I now give the floor to Guatemala.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to everyone. The Guatemalan delegation thanks the OAS General Secretariat and the Permanent Mission of Haiti for organizing this symposium focused on the urgent search for solutions to the security crisis in Haiti. We appreciate the presentations by the ministers, senior Haitian officials, and experts who provide an update on the current situation in Haiti, particularly regarding the impacts on security and justice caused by transnational organized crime. Guatemala will continue following closely the situation in Haiti and support the efforts of the UN MSS, in which we contribute 150 military personnel. Finally, Guatemala fully shares the concern for stability in Haiti. We believe that lasting peace can only be achieved through joint efforts, particularly among the countries of the region, promoting sustainable solutions for the Haitian people. It is essential not only to foster security, but also respect for human rights and strengthen democracy by restoring institutionality and carrying out a process of free, fair, and transparent elections. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I now give the floor to the observer delegation of France.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président. Je souhaite avant tout saluer cette initiative d'organiser ce symposium sur la sécurité en Haïti et la recherche de solutions et remercier les intervenants, les ministres Patrick Pellissier et Jean-Michel Moïse et le directeur du département de la criminalité organisée de l'OEA, Gaston Schulmeister, pour leurs interventions et recommandations. La France est extrêmement préoccupée par le niveau de violence et d'insécurité à Port-au-Prince. Nous soutenons les autorités transitoires haïtiennes, la police nationale haïtienne et la mission multinationale d'appui à la sécurité, à laquelle nous avons contribué à hauteur de $10 millions à ce jour. Mais la mission multinationale a besoin de plus de capacités et de plus de ressources. Il est impératif qu'elle atteigne 2500 effectifs et il est nécessaire de travailler à une meilleure interopérabilité entre la police nationale haïtienne, les forces armées d'Haïti et la mission multinationale. Dans ce cadre, Haïti doit également poursuivre le renforcement des forces de sécurité haïtiennes, le renforcement de la lutte contre le trafic d'armes et le financement des gangs au niveau national, à ouvrir des enquêtes contre les personnes sanctionnées et à poursuivre la lutte contre la corruption. Comme nous l'avons vu aujourd'hui, cette crise est multidimensionnelle et la France a apporté plus de 46 millions d'euros en 2024 dans les différents domaines de coopération bilatérale en Haïti. En plus des 10 millions d'euros de lutte pour la sécurité, 16 millions d'euros d'aide humanitaire pour soutenir les populations les plus vulnérables, 16 millions d'euros pour financer des projets de développement en santé, éducation, gouvernance et agriculture, via des formations, de l'équipement et des infrastructures. 1 million d'euros pour soutenir notre coopération culturelle et académique à travers l'Institut français de Port-au-Prince, 5 alliances françaises à travers le pays et plus de 45 bourses d'études. La France demeure engagée aux côtés d'Haïti et continuera à suivre avec attention les initiatives qui pourront être prises par l'OEA pour participer à la résolution de cette crise. Merci beaucoup.
I now give the floor to the observer delegation of Italy.
Thank you, Mr. President. We would like to thank the delegation of Haiti, the General Secretariat of the OAS for having organized this symposium, which represents a call for action in light of the alarming situation in Haiti. This prolonged and worsening situation has a huge impact, primarily on the population, almost an unbearable impact for them, for the Haitian population. It is also eroding the sovereignty of the country and has regional security consequences. We thank the two ministers present today, the Minister of Justice and Security and Justice, and the Minister of Defense, and also the high official from the State Department. Italy has worked constantly to highlight the gravity of the situation in Haiti in all relevant international organizations and fora, such as the UN, the Organization of American States, the G20, the G7, and also the European Union. In this context, Italy deems necessary the following: to continue supporting the transitional institutions in Haiti, to continue supporting the UN Integrated Office in Haiti and the Multinational Security Support Mission. We acknowledge also the important role played by the OAS local office, to maintain open the humanitarian channels in favor of the Haitian population, and want also to highlight the presence in Haiti of Italian non-governmental organizations in this regard. It is also crucial and very important the fight against corruption, which is essential to strengthen the Haitian institutions. And then, last but not least, continue supporting the efforts to reach general elections by February 2026, although we recognize that the path towards this goal is very difficult. In this respect, we would like to ask the two ministers where we stand in terms of the reform constitutional process after the meetings and contacts with the Venice Commission. It was mentioned today that the draft constitution is ready, and we would like to have more information about this draft constitution and also the referendum to approve the proposal. Thank you.
Well, we'll finish the list of speakers, and then I'll give the floor to the members of this table to respond to the question. I now give the floor to the observer delegation of Kenya.
Thank you, Chair. Excellencies, Kenya would like to thank the Permanent Mission of Haiti to OAS for organizing this symposium. This has been very insightful. I would like to express the government of Kenya's commitment as a lead nation to the MSS mission, working in collaboration with the Haitian police to restore law and order in Haiti. MSS has been able to make considerable milestones in Haiti, despite all the challenges highlighted earlier by the panelists. MSS has been able to train the Haitian police to boost their capacity, amongst others. We call for support to the MSS mission, particularly in the following areas. Establishment of forward operating bases is key. These are critical, sustaining stability in pacified areas. We urge OAS members, states, and the international community to contribute to the standing of the already identified forward operating bases and also fund their sustainment. Out of the 2,500 mandated personnel by the UN Security Council resolution for MSS mission, only 1,000 has so far been achieved. We call for contribution and deployment of more contingents who will combat the gangs. Contribution of critical equipment to the mission will make it successful. Currently, the mission is operating at 30% of its capability in terms of equipment. We also call on OAS member states and the international community to contribute to the funding of this mission. Finally, Chair, we would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who have contributed to this mission in terms of equipment and personnel. Thank you, Chair.
I now give the floor to the observer delegation of the Holy See.
Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président, de me donner la parole. Je salue les autorités ici présentes, ainsi que le directeur Gaston Soumestre. La délégation de l'Saint-Siège remercie pour l'organisation de ce symposium et assure qu'elle a pris note des différentes interventions des panélistes et aussi des États membres et observateurs. Haïti traverse une crise sociopolitique et humanitaire marquée par l'insécurité, la pauvreté et la violence des gangs. La Saint-Siège a exprimé sa proximité avec le peuple haïtien et continue de soutenir l'effort de consolidation de la paix. Le Saint-Siège réaffirme son engagement envers Haïti, appelant à un soutien international plus large pour aider les pays à surmonter ces défis. Enfin, l'Église catholique, notamment à travers Caritas Nationalis et les diocèses haïtiens, fournit à la population dans les besoins une aide humanitaire essentielle. L'Église catholique réaffirme son soutien et son engagement envers le peuple haïtien. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
I now give the floor to the panelists for their response. Firstly, Monsieur Patrick Pellissier, Minister of Public Security and Justice of Haiti. Vous avez la parole.
Merci. Merci, Monsieur le modérateur. Et merci encore aux représentants, aux représentantes des États membres pour votre intérêt concernant Haïti. J'ai écouté avec beaucoup d'intérêt et beaucoup d'attention les différentes interventions qui sont convergées dans le même sens pour trouver une solution à la crise haïtienne. Je crois qu'il s'agit surtout de commentaires fondés, bien articulés, et que parmi ces commentaires, il y a une seule question. C'est sur la réforme constitutionnelle, une question qui a été posée par le représentant de l'Italie. Avant de répondre à cette question, Je voulais remercier cette solidarité, et tout au moins diplomatique, des uns et des autres en faveur d'Haïti, et qui a justement besoin de cet élan de solidarité, mais qui a aussi besoin que cet élan de solidarité soit manifesté en termes d'actions concrètes sur le terrain, parce que la problématique révèle que nous avons besoin plus de présence, plus d'hommes au sol, plus de moyens techniques et plus de soutien matériel pour le moment. Haïti fait partie de l'Amérique latine et partage avec tous ces pays qui sont représentés aujourd'hui ici une histoire commune. C'est que nous avions presque tous connu la colonisation à un certain moment de notre histoire. Nombreux des pays de l'Amérique latine ont connu un moment avec la gouvernance de la dictature, et notamment pendant les années 60. Et au début des années 80, on a traversé cette rampe de gouvernements dictatoriaux vers de nouvelles orientations, vers un nouvel avenir consacré par les droits de l'homme et l'adoption d'instruments, justement, et pour garantir une société de justice, une société de liberté, et ces instruments émanent de l'Organisation des États américains. Et Haïti, en tant que membre de l'Organisation des États américains, a déjà ratifié nombreuses des conventions. Donc, cela dit que nous avons un destin commun, et Haïti a en quelque sorte participé dans la construction de l'histoire de certains pays de l'Amérique latine, notamment le Venezuela. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes dans un carrefour triste où nous avons besoin de soutien. On a reçu des soutiens déjà manifestés de façon concrète. On a développé des coopérations avec la Colombie. Récemment, j'ai été en Colombie, et la semaine dernière, un membre de mon cabinet a été en Colombie dans le cadre de la Méripol. La France nous a soutenus techniquement et matériellement. Le Brésil et l'Argentine, à travers leur rôle actuel et passé, nous ont soutenus, mais nous continuons à solliciter plus de soutien, car le problème est encore de taille. Je voudrais répondre à la préoccupation du représentant de l'Italie concernant la réforme constitutionnelle. Et c'est justement une réforme constitutionnelle qui sera adoptée par référendum. Et ça va faire la 3e fois que Haïti va adopter une constitution par référendum. La première fois, c'était en 1918. La 2e fois, c'était en 1987. Et la 3e fois va être cette année, en 2025. Et c'est une façon d'assurer la participation populaire et la légitimité de ce changement, afin que tout le monde puisse se retrouver dans cette constitution. Une constitution a essentiellement pour fonction d'établir les règles du jeu politique et d'orienter l'organisation de la société. Le projet de référendum, le projet le texte, le projet de texte sera soumis aujourd'hui par le comité de pilotage au président du Conseil présidentiel. Une fois fait, ce texte sera analysé par les structures locales, les structures régionales, les groupements de citoyens organisés, les organisations des droits humains, les barreaux, à travers un ensemble d'assises qui seront organisées à travers tout le territoire. Probablement, à la tenue du prochain Conseil des ministres, un décret sera adopté sur le référendum constitutionnel. C'est pour ainsi répondre à votre question, Monsieur le représentant de l'Italie, et vous dire qu'à l'horizon de l'été 2025, nous comptons organiser ce référendum. Merci.
I thank you, Mr. Pellissier, for your kind response. I'm now pleased to offer the floor to Mr. Jean-Michel Moïse, the Minister of Defense of Haiti, for his response.
Thank you, Chair. I want to thank all the member states and the observers for their remarks and commitment and for their understanding of the situation in Haiti. And I want to offer a special thank to the Dominican representative and the Dominican government as a border neighbor for making enormous effort recently in intercepting illegal weapons and ammunition. Criminals were trying to cross the border to arm the gangs. We really appreciate that. And I want to tell the ambassador from the Dominican Republic that we in Haiti want to have a peaceful existence with them. And we do think that they want the same thing. And the crisis we face right now in Haiti is a very difficult one. I personally, and in the name of the government of Haiti and the people of Haiti, would like for the Dominican government and the law enforcement entities there to continue in the effort to prevent illegal weapons, very dangerous weapons, to enter the territory as they have been doing recently. I want also to thank France for the continued effort to help us train a very small military. And in training them, they have so far trained soldiers for us in the Caribbean territory in Martinique, and they promise to continue to do so. We appreciate that very heartfully. And Kenya, we thank Kenya for all the effort and for committing their citizens, the police officers, and we gratefully they have lost some members of the police force they sent there to help us reclaim territories. And we really appreciate their support and the sacrifice they have made with their lives to help us protect our people and our territory. And the Haitian government is committed to work tirelessly to restore security. It is very challenging, very difficult, and we want to stabilize the country. We firmly believe that with the support of the international community, member states, observers, as you have all spoken very clearly, you have shown how concerned you all are about the very difficult situation we face in Haiti. And I believe that with your support, we will overcome this situation. And we can advance toward a more prosperous future for Haiti. And to do so, I believe that even the challenges are very difficult, very steep. We can resolve the crisis by strengthening our military, arm them, train them, build infrastructure. And without your support, we certainly can do that. We count on you to overcome these challenges. As you guys know, in 1994, the Haitian military have been disbanded, and we have recently started to rebuild the forces. In the midst of this chaos, it's very difficult because we have lost all the bases, the military bases we have had, the equipment we had, the technologies we have. So we just now beginning to rebuild the military. And we face the gangs which already have enormous firepower, a lot of recruited illegal soldiers, and one of the challenges we have faced is that we were unable, still now unable to acquire weapons, which the gangs have had no problem acquiring through illegal trades, guns and narcotics. We have faced this problem, particularly from Colombia, with the drug traffickers using our unmanned coastlines, and the southern coast particularly. And we would really much like for, as promised by the Colombian government, to make more effort to prevent the entry of those narcotics, guns, and the trade. Haiti's military is very, I admit, very weak, very embryonic right now. So without your guys' support, it is a very difficult situation to really resolve. In terms of the elections, for us to hold elections, we need to provide security first. And that is where you guys count. We need your support very much, because it's been about almost 9 years, if not almost 10 years, since we held the last elections in 2015. It's a very terrible situation for a country to not have held elections for that long. And we are taken in a very terrible situation of provisional government we want to get out of. So we are very committed in organizing elections, but we have to do so only if we can resolve the security challenges. And I know with all the commitment I have heard, the heartfelt sympathies that you have shared, and I know you guys understand the situation that we're living in Haiti. Right now it's a matter of survival for us. It's an existential threat that we face in Haiti, and we really need you guys to really come to assist us in resolving this security crisis, and so we can organize election to transfer legitimate power to an elected government by the end of this year. I count on you guys, and I can hear the sincerity in your guys' statements, and we're looking forward really to your further assistance. And I want to thank all the member states, the governments that have already provided their support. Like I mentioned, Mexico is training soldiers for us, new recruits. We would like to see other members do the same as well, because we don't have the infrastructure, the basic military training facilities to do that. We're in the process of building some, but it's going to take time. And the only way, one of the only way to really resolve the security situation in Haiti is by strengthening our military and the police, and particularly the military right now. So we're looking forward to your further assistance and commitment to resolving this crisis. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your commitment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Moise. Ladies and gentlemen, I see no more requests for the floor. I therefore thank the distinguished delegations for their engagement and active participation in this dialogue. I also thank sincerely the members of our distinguished panel. Our dialogue is concluded. I now invite our esteemed colleague, Ambassador Myrta Desulme, Permanent Representative of Haiti to the OAS, to offer her closing remarks. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Merci, Madame. Monsieur le conseiller président, Monsieur le ministre de la Justice et de la Sécurité publique, Monsieur le ministre de la Défense, Monsieur le président du Conseil permanent, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants permanents, Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants des pays observateurs, distingués invités. Je voudrais avant tout exprimer notre gratitude au conseiller président Smith-Augustin et au secrétaire général Luis Almagro qui ont conjointement pris l'initiative de ce symposium autour de la situation sécuritaire en Haïti et de l'urgence d'agir. Je souhaite également étendre ma reconnaissance à tous les panélistes pour leur excellente présentation et les autorités haïtiennes, dont le ministre de la Justice et de la Sécurité publique, M. Patrick Pellissier, et le ministre de la Défense, M. Jean-Michel Moïse, qui ont fait le déplacement avec le conseiller président Smith-Augustin pour partager avec nous de manière si éloquente l'urgence de la crise qu'ils vivent quotidiennement sur le terrain. J'exprime ma reconnaissance à tous les représentants des États membres et pays observateurs qui nous ont accompagnés dans ce dialogue nécessaire et qui ont communiqué leur solidarité et leur préoccupation pour la nature infâme de la crise humanitaire. Je remercie aussi tous les participants qui ont rendu possible ce symposium. Le symposium a eu pour objectif principal de nous pencher sur la grave crise sécuritaire en Haïti et d'essayer d'y trouver ensemble des solutions urgentes. Pour ce faire, un inventaire critique de la situation devait être dressé. Sans vouloir revenir sur tout ce qui a été déjà dit ce matin, nous devons insister néanmoins sur le fait que l'heure est grave, très grave. L'heure est très grave car au moment où je vous parle, les gangs armés sont en train de semer la terreur dans mon pays en mettant à exécution de façon barbare leur plan de destruction systématique du tissu social haïtien. Les gangs brûlent les écoles, détruisent les hôpitaux, pillent les grandes entreprises privées comme le petit commerce. Ils attaquent les institutions publiques, notamment judiciaires et policières. Rien n'est épargné. Ils entrent dans les églises comme dans les cimetières. Ils brûlent les universités, ils ouvrent les portes des prisons et libèrent les prisonniers. Les groupements de criminels armés qui sévissent en Haïti progressent sans relâche et contrôlent jusqu'à 80% du territoire de la zone métropolitaine de Port-au-Prince. Si rien n'est fait dans l'urgence, la capitale haïtienne risque de tomber à tout moment sous les assauts répétés de ces criminels. Oui, l'heure est très grave car au moment où je vous parle, des fillettes sont en train d'être victimes des crimes sexuels les plus abjects. Des garçons qui devraient se trouver sur le banc de l'école deviennent des enfants soldats dans des entreprises de crimes contre l'humanité. L'heure est très grave car le crime se banalise dans mon pays comme jamais auparavant. Pour le seul début de l'année 2025, on enregistre 1617 personnes tuées, tandis que pour l'année 2024, le pays a connu plus de 5600 civils massacrés. Or, il ne s'agit pas là des chiffres d'un pays en guerre, mais d'une population civile en proie à des massacres en série. L'heure est très grave car sur le plan humanitaire, la situation est une vraie catastrophe. La violence des gangs s'exerçant sur la population a provoqué plus d'1 million de déplacés. Ces personnes vivent actuellement dans la rue, dans des camps de fortune sans eau potable et même dans des cimetières, sans les conditions sanitaires de base, et se trouvent exposés à être des victimes de la malnutrition, de la tuberculose et du choléra. Les citoyens, quand ils peuvent circuler, sont confrontés par les cadavres qui jonchent les rues. Face à une telle catastrophe humaine, il y a urgence d'agir. Malgré les efforts qui ont été consentis par les autorités haïtiennes, les réponses apportées jusqu'ici restent très en deçà de ce qu'il convient de faire. Voilà pourquoi il est aujourd'hui impératif de définir une stratégie adaptée à la situation, de proposer des moyens accrus correspondant à la gravité de la situation et de trouver des mécanismes pour adresser de manière urgente cette crise sans précédent. De la rançon de l'indépendance à la destruction du secteur agricole à travers le dumping qui a entraîné 70% de chômage, aux fleuves d'armes qui envahissent notre nation qui ne produit pas d'armes, certains pays de la communauté internationale ont autant de responsabilités dans la calamité qui sévit en Haïti que les Haïtiens, si pas plus, et ont donc le devoir de réparer les torts pour aider Haïti à s'en sortir, mais pas avec des pseudo-solutions qui ont failli. Nos partenaires internationaux doivent adopter sans tarder des solutions haïtiennes et une politique basée sur le credo « Rien pour Haïti sans Haïti ». En termes de stratégie, nous devons nous donner les moyens d'enrayer l'impact du crime transnational organisé. Dans cette perspective, nous sollicitons des engagements concrets et à tous les niveaux des partenaires d'Haïti dans l'exécution du plan de redressement de la situation sécuritaire afin de déployer sans attendre les forces nécessaires pour arriver à neutraliser les gangs. Il faudra également une augmentation du budget alloué à la police nationale d'Haïti et aux forces armées d'Haïti, ainsi qu'une augmentation des effectifs et des moyens logistiques dont disposent ces forces de sécurité. Force est de reconnaître que les forces publiques haïtiennes n'étaient pas préparées pour faire face au type de défis et à la gravité de cette situation de terreur des gangs. Pour qu'Haïti cesse d'être victime du crime transnational organisé, il nous faut coûte que coûte définir une doctrine de sécurité et de défense adaptée à la situation. En plus des supports à apporter à très court terme aux forces de l'ordre haïtiennes, nous devons rester ouverts à toutes les options. C'est dans cet esprit que nous saluons la décision des autorités américaines de désigner les gangs comme des organisations terroristes et nous voudrions à cet égard demander aux États-Unis un renforcement particulier de la coopération sécuritaire avec Haïti en rapport à cette désignation. De même, nous appelons à l'aide pour la création de services d'intelligence nationale dignes de ce nom. Enfin, afin d'assurer la durabilité des résultats, il nous faudra recruter et former 20 000 soldats et mettre en place un corps spécialisé en opérations anti-gang. Je voudrais terminer mes propos en vous remerciant tous pour votre participation. Nous avons hier dit un triste au revoir à notre très cher secrétaire général Luis Leonardo Almagro Lemes, qui a tenu à poser ce dernier acte de solidarité avec Haïti avant son départ comme secrétaire général de l'OEA. Et je le remercie vivement. Je remercie également le secrétariat du secrétaire général pour leur excellent travail pendant la durée de son mandat et pour la diligence de leur collaboration avec la mission d'Haïti pour la réalisation de ce symposium. Je dois aussi saluer le président du Conseil permanent, son Excellence l'ambassadeur Belly, qui a accepté de modérer la séance à si court délai et qui l'a fait avec son talent habituel. Et je remercie aussi celle qui l'a remplacée pendant qu'il s'est déplacé. Je saisis l'occasion pour saluer l'arrivée prochaine du nouveau secrétaire général Albert Ramdin. Ce dialogue sur la situation de mon pays va certainement continuer sous les auspices du nouveau secrétariat de l'OEA. Un acte 2 de ce symposium devra être programmé avec le nouveau secrétaire général pour le mois de juin et nous sommes sûrs qu'ensemble, nous allons restaurer la sécurité, l'ordre, la prospérité, ainsi que la paix et la démocratie en Haïti. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your important message. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now concluded all of the items on our agenda. I thank you all for your participation, and I wish you a wonderful afternoon.